but now niggas on it. They used to bait me on me and my views, but now niggas on it. I used to tell them I'ma have me a show, but now niggas on it. Her homies on it, your homies on it. Y'all's the hater and all of my moves, but now niggas on it. They used to debate me on me and my views, but now niggas on it. I used to tell them I had me a show, but now niggas on it. Her homies on it, your homies on it.
What up, though? We are back. Realest podcast ever. Big show today, man. Happy 4th of July. Happy holidays to anybody out there that celebrates that and all of that, man. I'm your host, Chad Fane.
Y'all know what the fuck going on,
man. Dan's here, too. Say what's up to the
I'm here. Dan is here.
Dan is here. Dan has a live mic. Dan is here. You never know what Dan's going to say.
Is it? You just made me think about it. Before we get into the administrative, do the 4th of July still be like 4th of July?
No, it's trash.
Yeah.
4th of July hit different. Like, I think roughly, and this week is supposed to be the same thing. Like roughly, like probably 8 out of the last 10 years, it's rained or something. On the 4th of July. Then we had the whole calamity last year with the shooting during. You don't remember that they woke what's the name up? They woke the mayor up like, yo, niggas is shooting on the Parkway. He said he didn't want the job no more. That's why we had 62 people running for mayor. Yeah, like.
Yo, Mayor Kenny definitely pulled up in a fucking Lionel Messi jersey. Motherfucker.
What the fuck is it today?
Yeah, I was laying in my hammock. Y'all out here with your bullshit.
Y'all niggas out here acting like the OK Corral. So
I'm laying in the hammock drinking a Michelob. Bay come in talking about that. It's on 92 calories in the Michelob Light. He like, I'm laying in the hammock drinking my Michelob. If my Bay come talking about, they shooting on the Parkway. Next thing I know, my phone going crazy. Mayor Kenny got Ray on the news like, I ain't gonna hold you. I be happy when this shit over. Yeah. I'm happy when the job is done.
Yeah, Philly's a tough place, man. Philly, I can't speak for everywhere else.
Man, the mayor got on the news and was talking like a nigga that work at FedEx. Yeah. Man, I'll be happy I get the fuck out.
With a year and a half to go. It wasn't even like the way he was talking. I thought he was done in November. He had a year and a half.
A whole another year on the contract. I mean, I can't wait for this shit to be over. Oh, they definitely did shoot on the Parkway last year.
It's a tough gig, man. Just being a human in Philadelphia. So I think for our city in particular, I can't really speak for nowhere else. I haven't really been nowhere else on 4th of July recently, but Philly in particular, 4th of July is tough, man, because niggas use the fireworks as an excuse to go shoot a op. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little tough. And I would imagine it's probably like that in some other urban ghettos in America. We see every year after the 4th of July, Chicago, 92 people shot, 4 paralyzed.
No, 92 dead, 300 shot.
I ain't gonna hold you, man. I think it's because, in a weird way, we might be 4th of July'd out, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
We already know the history of black people when it comes to independence in this country, so that's already sketchy. Yeah. Then it's like, how many Franks and burgers can you really, you know what I'm saying? And then you got think about fireworks during the panorama. Like, we got fireworked out.
Yeah, no, that was a thing.
Remember how crazy that little... one of my
niggas had too much money, man. Niggas is buying the same shit.
Dumb shit.
When they got that art museum, give me the same setup.
Yo, it's a video on my joint that came up the other day on my Facebook on my, your memories from last year. The other day, it was the couple days before 4th of July, whatever the fuck, what was it yesterday? The 30th? The 30th?
Yeah.
And it was me in front of my depot, and this was in 21. And there was fireworks going off on Allegheny, and it's me cracking up, and the caption is like, yo, this is art museum shit. Niggas had that shit on 29th and Allegheny. Yeah. Big fireworks.
I seen a video the other day, fucking Kai Cenat, the streamer, whatever. Kai Cenat was sitting on literally enough fireworks to burn this building down. In his room, his house, and he's like, yeah, if niggas start this new AMP niggas start this fireworks shit this year, it's going down. And I'm just like, yo, what is y'all obsession with fireworks?
I don't get it.
I remember being a young boy, and I was on a road trip coming back. I was on a road trip with my grandfather. It was probably 10 of us between 2 cars or whatever. Mm-hmm. And we was on a road trip, and we went through, the Carolinas and Virginia and all of that, going down and coming back, and then coming back. I'm like, yo, I'm like 12, 13. I'm like, yo, let's go to some fireworks, blah, blah, blah. And I spent all my money that I had saved from this vacation on fireworks. I came back with $120 worth of fireworks, which in the 90s is like, God damn. And then I didn't set off not one firework. They ended up going bad on me.
I remember sitting on my block back in the day. We was probably like 13, 14. This strange guy just came through the block and he pulled over, was like, yo, y'all like fireworks? And we was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm selling fireworks. And he opened the trunk, and this shit was like, remember when they found the trailer on Beverly Hills Cop 2 and Rosewood was just shoving missiles in his coat? Like, it was so much shit in his trunk. And I remember like, yo, he had bottle rockets. Remember M80s, quarter sticks? He had all
M80s. Do you remember when fucking M80s got, like, when you originally found out about M80s? Like, no, it's a quarter stick of dynamite. Like, it'll tear some shit up.
Oh, yeah, we used to hit the phone booth.
Phone booths, yeah, knock all the coins out.
Listen, and I remember he came through. Yo, I had all this money I'd saved up just from like doing my little shit around the neighborhood, working, whatever. And man, I was like 13, same show as you. Yo, I spent like every dollar,
every
I
coin
had with this nigga, yo. And then I got like in the house and looked at it all, and I was like, yo, I'm a loser.
Fucking idiot.
I can lose.
At a young age.
Now I'm just out on the back deck with Roman candles about
for weeks. Like, this shit is dumb. It's stupid.
End of the summer, I still had a bag of bottle rockets.
Because when you spend $100 on fireworks in the 90s, you can't get rid of that shit. Like,
nigga, I had Roman candles. Remember the little box where you light it and it'd be like, pew, pew, pew.
Light here on the corner, and then it just start shooting all this shit up, man.
And my mom was sick of that shit. Oh, yo, you're throwing the rest of that shit out.
It's dumb, man. Don't let your kids buy fireworks, man. Don't, like, this is stupid.
And the fireworks shit get done. And you know what you do? Just go back in the house. Like, all right, I'm going back.
One of my young boys, man, he blew half his hand off fucking around with like the small half sticks of dynamite.
We was at the park chilling or whatever, and it was niggas around my way. They was getting quarter sticks of dynamite, and you gotta remember this was 2001, 2002. This was, people don't understand. Like 20 years ago was really a lifetime ago.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it was just a different culture. You know, R. Kelly was free. It was just a different world.
Michael Jackson was alive.
It was just a different. Mike Tyson went to jail for rape, came home and won more belts and became more famous.
Nobody tripped.
You know, the champ be out in a little bit.
Bitches lying.
Pac went to jail for sodomy. #1 album in the country. It was just a different world. And these motherfuckers was riding around lighting quarter sticks of dynamite and throwing them out the window to scare people and shit.
You want to kill somebody.
And I remember they came up to the park and both of them was just like red with marks all over. We was like, what the fuck happened to y'all? He's like, man, this dickhead lit the quarter stick, went to throw it out the sunroof. Shit hit the fucking bar on the sunroof and came back in the car.
These niggas looking like Wile E. Coyote. They just had a negative run-in with Bugs Bunny.
Oh, and I never forget it. Jules was like, them niggas look like they was in Nam.
Fucking Acme and Code Dynamite that exploded on these stupid ass niggas.
Oh, my man Zach was like, y'all might as well go and be alcoholics. y'all look like fucking soldiers coming back from the war. Hey, yo, man, that was a crazy little time period.
Yeah, let that be our pre-4th of July warning, man. Don't you or your kids be fucking around with these stupid ass goofy fireworks, man.
Oh, man. I got a crazy M80 story. I'll tell it one of these days. Shout out to Vicky, Ray. He know exactly what I'm talking about. I'll tell that shit later on. Maybe do that at a live show or something, because that was a crazy-ass story. But that was a wild-ass time period. Yo, firecrackers, M80s, quarter sticks, Roman candles. That was a time. But like I said, at this juncture, I'm fireworked out. I don't ever need to hear another firework or see
They
another
set off some pretty nice fireworks, actually, at the Phillies game the other night.
Oh, they always do good Jones at like the games. When we went to Beyonce concert,
they had pyro. They was hitting the fireworks, and then you seen the big ass "Hate Me Now" pyro ball go in the air.
They got a real good one at the Sixers stadium when they be announcing the players.
Yeah,
that do Joel on them come out. They got a big pyro on top of the backboard and shit. At Beyonce concert, they had a lot of nice fireworks and shit at the end. But yeah, at this juncture, I don't need to
Say no to fireworks, guys.
And
Let the professionals handle it.
And all of that kind of like kills, you got the looming threat of violence. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't just remember pulling up on random cookouts.
Oh man, listen, the cookouts is not cooking or out no more. Like the cookouts is a wrap. Yeah, I'm not going to nobody. Somebody asked me the other day, like, yeah, so what you got planned for the weekend? You going to cookouts? I said, I don't go to. None
Do you remember that time period in life where you would go to like your Acme or your ShopRite or whatever, and they would be out of charcoal? Mm-hmm. Now that shit is in big ass cases in the front of the market
in large supply.
Yeah, on the sidewalk. just take it. You ain't even got to come in. Just take it.
You got the twin packs.
Yeah. I remember like you go to one store, then they ain't got no charcoal. Oh, we gonna go to Home Depot or Baltimore Pikes. They probably has like I remember that.
That was the vibe. It's like, yo, man, me and my nigga Heem, shout out Heem, man. He be home soon. My nigga Heem, like, yo, 2 weeks, man. We having a cookout. On where the fuck was we at? Like 61st and Cobbs Creek Parkway before the bend on the southwest side or whatever. Hey, yo, 2 weeks we gonna have a cookout. We gonna have some hoes. This and this and this. I was like, how much I need to give you? $140. I'm like, that's it?
Damn.
I'm like, that's it? Like, give me $140. We're going to feed 80 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure enough, that nigga made that shit happen. And I had a bottle of Moet.
Yeah, it's all hamburgers and hot dogs.
Motherfucking Murray's going to town. Yeah, how much a 36 pack? $7.99. Bet. Like, but yeah, like you not pulling up on random cookouts on random blocks.
No.
Fireworks is annoying. You know,
shot like that. Get shot like that.
Yeah, it at this juncture, it's like, yo, 4th of July, I'm just go to Wegmans, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hit the wing bar, bring my ass back in the house. Like,
where it's safe at.
Yeah, 4th of July is definitely different. Getting into the administrative side of things, man, we have a weekend, I think.
We are 8 weeks away. Is that mean 8 fingers? 8 fingers.
I think.
8 weeks away, man.
We got a live show on August 26th at
indeed.
the World Cafe Live, the legendary World Cafe Live. We already 40% have about 40%.
About 40%.
40% on the tickets. It's only 300 tickets, hard capped at 300.
It ain't 308.
We
it
haven't
ain't
announced
311. I'm not
yet.
lying about the Tracy. It ain't 40 in my pocket. Like none of that.
We're doing an after party after that at Reserve.
Yes, indeed. Shout out PC and Bones.
Yeah, we're doing an after party at Reserve that night. Little network signing party. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too crazy. Yeah. And then August 27th.
Hookah.
Oh, yeah, we'll be some hookah there.
Hookah.
August 27th, we doing a brunch.
Yes, indeed.
Sunday during the daytime. Tickets say 3, but we'll probably get it going a little earlier than that. We won't scare nobody away. But
private location, super dope, exclusive venue for the city. We're not telling y'all location because I don't want everybody running down there, bothering people, trying to do y'all events before we do ours. Let me get mine's off, pause, and then y'all can run y'all movie after that.
Run your movie is a wild term. It took me so long to really process that being like the new way to say you go.
Do your thing.
Do your thing. Yeah. Like, but yeah, man. TRPE weekend, August 26th, August 27th. Go to officialtrpe.com.
Yes, indeed.
Click the events. All the tickets are right there. Mm-hmm. All 3 of them. What else? Oh, Patreon. Yo, we've been on fire with Patreon.
Yeah, we've been smoking Patreon.
We've been smoking Patreon. We had so much. We had like a overlap to where we're going to do some of them questions today. But shout out to y'all. Whenever we put the questions up on Patreon, y'all participate in droves. Some of y'all take a little too long to where we put the episode
Yes,
out.
episode is already up.
And you still submitting questions, whatever. But shout out to y'all for participating, giving us some real good questions, man. We had some real good combos the other day, back and forth. People was hitting me about my rant at the end of the second jump. I'm like, hey, man, sometimes I be in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm out the ballpark. That's the way it go. But yes, patreon.com/officialtrpe. Subscribe to the Patreon. Help us help y'all. I got nothing else.
YouTube community, everybody watching this on YouTube, if you're not subscribed, make sure you do that. About 70% of y'all not subscribed that watch these videos every week. Make sure y'all subscribe, hit the notification bell so y'all can get all the notifications on here. Patreon also, we still have our $5,000 giveaway in attack. We hit 1,000 subs on Patreon, 5 racks, you know what I'm saying? Or vacation, wherever the hell you want to go. I don't care. Whatever y'all want to do. Within the Western Hemisphere.
I was going to say within the Eastern time, Eastern Standard Time.
Motherfucking New York,
Maryland,
Baltimore, South Carolina's nice.
Bruce Springsteen said Cape May is a motherfucker. All right. Right,
You know what I'm saying? So that's very, very real. Shout out to all of the Patreones, man. Everybody supporting over there. That's like a big platform for us and has, carried us and empowered us to be able to do a lot of the different stuff that we do as far as events and merchandise drops and all of that. It's all, powered by the Patreon community, to be all the way honest with y'all, which is the top 3 to 5% of our audience, man. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate everybody else too. You know what I'm saying? You give an eyeball, you give a listen, whatever it is. We definitely appreciate y'all too. But the Patreons hit different. You know what I'm saying? The Patreones hit different.
Straight up. How you feeling today?
Oh man, now that I'm alive in a week, I actually feel good. I feel got some energy now. I didn't eat nothing yet.
Oh, me and Dan was just saying for you.
Yeah, I didn't eat nothing yet. You know what I'm saying? But at some point I'll be okay. I got my pure fuel. You know what I'm saying? So at some point I'll eat. But in the meantime, I have some nice natural energy to go off of. You know what I mean? With pure fuel. But
that I need some chicken tenders. Like this shit.
Tennis.
I need some tenders, dog. Like straight up.
But yeah, so I mean, it's been a lot going on. Just generally speaking, in the media and sports news and all this different stuff. The last week in particular, we talked about some of this stuff on Patreon. I kind of want to rehash it, talk a little bit more about it today. ESPN just did massive layoffs on Friday, and it's basically like the not a gift that keeps on giving, but it's like bad news spreads quickly. It's like every time you see the update, there's more people that are fired. So it's like, all right, so we done lost Jalen Rose, we lost Max Kellerman, Keyshawn Johnson. They're saying Jay Williams might be fired. Who else? There's like a bunch of Sports Center anchors, like literally, I think like 27 people or something like that in total. Jalen Rose is out, like, who's been there, forever at this point, it seems like. And it's just one of them things where it's like, yo, content and content creation is moving at the speed of light. And people that aren't necessarily, empowering themselves to build and own a platform and almost like just relying upon like a salary are kind of going to get like left in the dust, so to speak. So, the reported moves that ESPN is firing all these people to make way for is they already secured Pat McAfee's operation for essentially 2 shows a day, which is going to be simulcast between YouTube, ESPN's, live network channels, ESPN2. It's going to be like simulcast across all of this different stuff or whatever. And then they're also planning on making an offer to Shannon Sharp to bring him over there, which I believe is going to be, him on some sort of an anchor role plus the Club Shay Shay podcast and all of that stuff that he does as well, which is like an intersection of sports media culture and lifestyle that he does or whatever, which is like actually like a very good show. And I think he was better on that even than like his debate show or whatever, because it kind of showed him in his natural element as, and just talking to people that he's familiar with and being like a real interviewer, probing, asking good questions and stuff like that. So I set all this up to say, one, what do y'all think about the way that the content wheel is like kind of turning right now? And then 2, do you think ESPN did the right thing and basically big game hunting instead of saying we're just going to stand pat with what we got?
I mean, at the end of the day, you know how I feel about media at this point. I admire sports media. I said that on the Patreon. Me and Rod had another real good talk yesterday. We've been having some good talks recently. I don't know what's going on. But we were talking about, how I view urban media as opposed to the sports shit. And I was laying it in. Rod was like, I think you're looking at it from a broader scope than what you like to admit. And Rod was like, I think y'all are in a real good place. And I'm like, yeah, we are, but we could be in a better place. And I think I look at how urban media only has but so many better places, where sports media has a gazillion good-ass spaces. You can realistically, Tim Kirchin at any given time can cover any Major League Baseball team. Then he can go on ESPN and cover baseball. He can go on MLB.com. He can go to motherfucking Comcast Sportsnet.
Yankees Network, Yes Network.
You just got a gazillion places to go. Jalen Rose, you know how much that hair costs? He's gonna be somewhere in the next week working.
Yeah.
Like it's just what it is.
My prediction is I think he's going to Spotify with The Ringer.
Like it's so many. Like think about it. Shannon Sharp leaving FS1. Do you know how many fucking people they could put in that fucking chair against Skip? To where it's like it could actually be more entertaining.
Right.
Imagine if Skip decided to do that shit with AB. Or Dennis Rodman or some crazy ass shit. It's like it's just so many places for them to go. And I look at sports media where it's like, one, for ESPN being the worldwide leader, Bleacher Report been beating their ass for the last couple of years.
Yeah, they beat them to the punch quite often.
So it's like, why not Big Game Hunt? Because we the big, like, it's like WWE. Oh, you killed it at WCW, bring your ass over here. The Yankees in the 90s. Oh, you had 100 RBIs, bring your ass over here. That's just kind of how it worked for ESPN.
Yeah, I think what it is, what they doing is they're going to Big Game Hunt. You cut all them salaries, and then it's like small people you can give 100,000 to that got bigger reach than these people that they giving 4 or 5 million
I honestly think ESPN is going to do, because just knowing what we know on some behind the scenes shit.
Yeah,
I think what they're doing is like big game hunting, but then giving shots. Where it's like it cuts that middle shit out.
Because you give a shot and you only got to give up 100 grand, 200 grand.
Like, yeah, I'm giving 5 motherfuckers 10 million, but it's like I'd rather give him 40 and then use that dime where it's like I could take basically like angel invest.
Exactly.
And it's like if he popped, then it's like, oh shit, he under the umbrella, then she there, then he there, then you know, ESPN Asia there through that ball.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all started to peep it, but Bleacher Report is doing just that.
Yeah,
where it's like all of these people that I see that I know that's like, oh, I watch his YouTube, I watch his IG reels or whatever the fuck, and then now they're being incentivized on Bleacher Report to come and do like a program over there. So it's like, yo, we're not taking away from what you already do, but come over here, do 1 or 2 a week, we'll pay you. And then if this shit fucking pop and y'all maintain a fucking audience, then there's a bigger bag on the other side of this shit if it works.
And then we not spending a big bag to gamble.
Exactly.
And
you can spend that 5-10 million and don't do nothing.
Like I just look at the whole sports media landscape where it's like it just seems very, very in front of you. And this is just through the people we know in and around it, where it's just like it seems very, very, here goes this. Do you want to fuck with that?
Right.
Yes? Okay, great. No? Okay, great. That's how it comes off. Where this shit always just feels like a little bit of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, you know, like I said, I envy sports media. I wish I could get the fuck in sports media, honestly. I'd put a suit on and wear a fucking, I'd shave my head every other day. Like, seriously.
Yeah, I just think, you know, and then when I look at like the extension of sports media into like lifestyle and the space that like Jesus and Mero were in, where it's like, all right, cool. On your formatted 30 to 45 minute show, you're interviewing exclusively A and B list, you know, actors, producers, directors, artists, stuff like that. Boom. So that's that. But then over here, because you're with Showtime and CBS and they control, you know, the combat sports world right now as far as like boxing, pay-per-view and all of that shit, boom. Then you slide over here and then now y'all doing sideline commentating and all of that, blah, blah, blah. And that's giving you face value with the combat sports audience or whatever, which then could lead to you basically doing any sports. Because it's like you said on Patreon the other day, we saw motherfucking Stephen A. At the Kentucky Derby in the afternoon, UFC at night. We see that at the finals the next day. Like, we just see this motherfucker all over the place. And it's like, that's the type of opportunities that, you know, sports media can open doors for you as far as like, you know, just if you have the core competency and, you know, you can deliver these messages and be, you know, educated and convincing, we'll give you any opportunity that's fucking there. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, you know, majority of like the urban media, you really have to take the ball and, you know, and create your outcome.
You got to call ISO.
Yeah, you got to call ISO, and it's like, yo, you look at the Breakfast Club; they're in 100-something markets. You look at now, you know, Angela Yee's got a syndicated show now, which is on afternoon, on you know on Power, which is being you know actively being syndicated and picking up markets. It's like, yo, when you look at the scope of this shit, it's like, yo, it's really not that much opportunity that's there because it's like, yo. The shit is so the music industry and urban culture in general is so monkey see, monkey do that once something works, we'll just pay the syndication fee to just spread this all out as opposed to developing talent. And that's the reason why radio is basically hit and devoid of stars now is because they stopped developing fucking talent, because they're almost like afraid, where it's like, yo, if these motherfuckers get too big, can we even afford to pay them? So let's not even take the time to invest in this shit at all. We'll just pick up something that's already working, pay the syndication fee and the sync fee, and just move the fuck on.
Real shit.
And then we'll pay, somebody $34,000 or whatever to come and do our afternoon show or whatever the fuck, and just let that be that. You know what I mean? So it's like, even radio is kind of like, feeling the effects of the shrinkage as far as like, what's going on in urban media, man. And it's just so much less opportunity that's out there for, people that once upon a time would have been radio jocks. Like all these people that got podcasts, the top 10% of them would have been on air on the radio 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. And they would have been dominating, kicking ass, because they're all good. Like, think about, like, The Read, how fucking terrific they are. Like, how good their product has been, and the fact that they've been already doing the podcast for almost 10 years. Mm-hmm. Like, they would have dominated fucking radio. But once radio stopped presenting the opportunities, because everything has to be ad-supported, and their ad rates, weren't, where they were. Like, they weren't peak value like they were before. It's like, all right, well, how do we justify, paying these people really their commensurate value, which is probably like $500,000 a year between the two of them. Mm-hmm. So those people that would have been, would have fell into that corporate system of, corporate radio and all of that shit, found their own opportunities in their own lanes. And then now, you have somebody like, Joe Rogan that at any given time has more listeners than Fox Sports and fucking CNN combined. If you take a snapshot of his audience, I would imagine that, The Read probably has more, when they drop a podcast, on whatever day they drop, they probably have more active listeners than whatever DC area, Virginia, Maryland area radio station has at one given time. No, I would be willing to bet money on that. And so forth and so on. I know for sure that Gilly and Wallow are driving more traffic to their podcast than any show on Power 99.
Right. You ain't lying.
Like, so it's like, so once people see that, and then it's like, oh, and I get to own it from the door, right. Why even bother? So it goes from a lack of opportunity to a lack of interest. And then that's kind of like where the pendulum swung in the other way, where the creators are just like, I'm not even interested in that shit. Yeah. It's too formatted, it's too censored, I'm restricted, I'll just bet on me, I'll build this shit up, I'll go fucking spend, $3-4 buy all the fucking equipment, teach myself how to fucking shoot, how to edit, this, and this. And then as I scale up, I'll start adding staff and right sizing and shit. And that's what motherfuckers is doing.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah.
That's what we doing.
That's what we do. They literally, like, that's what the fuck we doing. And it's like, even on a lesser level, like, we relied on, locations to be able to, to go and record and, do this shit. And we always maintain independence in terms of like how we promote it and, what's the show topics and all of that. Nobody had no influence on that, but it's like, yo, we had to take even more control in order to get where the fuck we was going. Which now we're, at the doorstep of, a network opportunity and all of that shit with a really, viable brand name.
Yeah, Ron, he threw me an idea too for that.
Okay.
I'll tell you that off air or whatever. But yeah, I mean,
but I just know that I say that to say I know that opportunity wouldn't have come if we would have stayed stagnant the way that we was. We was doing shit where it was like it was too restrictive, and it was too much of people minding our business instead of trying to figure out how the fuck they can help push this thing along. Right. Because motherfuckers didn't want to get left. So instead of helping the situation, they tried to figure out ways to jump in our pocket as opposed to like, how can I add value to the fucking situation?
I got posed with that question the other day. I wanted to ask you that. How do you feel about the people who, or do you feel it at all, rather? Do you feel people who are like, they're not supporting in the right way, but they're trying to hang on or be close enough just in case some shit do blow? Do you feel that at all?
Not really.
But I had this conversation with someone the other day.
I can't honestly say that I felt that because, I interact with, on a given week, probably 200 people, like on a one-to-one basis, whether it be DMs, texts, phone calls, Twitter interaction, shit like that. Maybe 200, 300 people, whatever, on a week-to-week basis. And in general, I feel like the people that I come in contact with are genuine. They're legitimately rooting for us. You know, they do what they can to fucking support, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's being a patron, buying merchandise, buying a show ticket, shit like that. And for the most part, when it comes to that level of support, we're seeing the same 400 or 500 people all the time. You know what I'm saying? Which is good, but those people are also being advocates and bringing people to the fucking audience. You know what I'm saying? In the last, like, probably 6 months, I've had, you know, various conversations with probably like a good 15, 20 people that are all like new to the show. And they like, yo, I got onto y'all shit. I love it so much. Like, I done went back to, you know what I'm saying, to the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know where the fuck to start, but like, I just love y'all shit so much. Like, people like my man DJ Blair, you know, down in Delaware, just various people.
Yeah, Blair started following me. I thought somebody snitched on me and said I was DJ Blair. You know, I be using this playlist.
Your alter ego.
I'm like, oh shit,
Dan got nervous.
He found out I'm his doppelganger.
The jig is up.
Let me delete all those playlists out my catalog. No, shout out to DJ Blair, man. He just
Blair
followed
is
me last
super.
week.
You're not on Gram, so you don't see it. But like Blair,
dope,
super
dope,
advocate.
dope
Every
DJ,
show,
man.
super dope ass DJ. But every single show we drop, he on it. This and this and this. He done cut clips out and sent them to me. All kinds. Like Blair is like a super supporter. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I've been coming in contact with more.
What would it say? Need more like you, boy.
Need more like it, boy.
Need more like you, boy.
So it's like, so I've had the benefit of my experience has been, I think, very, very genuine for the most part, like 95% genuine. And, you know, the other 5% is just like, you know, just random assholes in my DM trying to spark up a conversation or get a fucking rise out of me. But even I feel like they don't mean no harm. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers just got different viewpoints than I do. And I realize like I'm wired a little bit different than like the average person.
Yeah, I've gotten to a place where I try not to concern myself with certain things. But at times it do be like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like it'll have you sitting there because especially when you watch somebody do certain things where it's just like, okay. And like we talked about the other day, you know, you a reader. Like you read it. I see it. I might not speak on it or say it, but I know.
Yeah, what's the meme that everybody used to use? I might not say nothing, but I peep everything.
I don't know about that. I ain't trying to be cool like niggas. You know, niggas always got a catchphrase for whatever was going on.
I might not speak on it, but I peep everything.
Yeah. You know, an owl's job is to listen and not say all this stupid shit. It's just, no. But I notice it. You know what I mean? I see certain things where it's just like.
Now, what I will say.
I peeped that.
What I will say is when we do certain stuff or announce certain stuff, I do notice that certain people. I'm trying to be careful. Certain people that I would think would be present to give a nigga a cheer and, you know, oh man, y'all killing it, whatever, y'all paving the way. They're conspicuously absent. Quite often.
Like I'm not
Quite
making
often.
this shit up.
And it feels like there's like it's a thing.
With the Jay-Z trying to catch the beat,
it's like a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Now. Like, but no, I just think at the end of the day, that's honestly the way people work.
Yeah.
It's the way people are wired, where it's like we have a tendency, especially in this city, to where it's like if you cross the threshold of doing, you know, it's like a line of doing too much.
Yeah.
And if you step over that, you the dick eatingest motherfucker ever to exist. And people don't want to do that.
And niggas walking tightrope on that line.
But no, we've gotten to the point now where motherfuckers don't want to come close to the line.
Yeah.
I'll just disqualify myself. I'm not even going to attempt to throw the shot put.
But then on the same token, Philly people in general always want to reserve their right to dick eat you later. So I'm not just going, even if I don't fuck with you, I'm not just going to throw you under the bus.
No, because this shit might go
go all the way off, and I might need you for something.
Yeah.
So so even though I hate your nut ass, I'm not going to dish you. Because I might got a dick ride later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
It's that sort of shit.
And that's what she was asking me. She was like, do you feel that at all? And I'm like, of course I do. I just don't be really giving a fuck.
Yeah.
And it's like, because you really can't. You know, at the end of the day, you just got to do what you're doing and do what you know is right and what you believe is right in your heart. And you got to let the chips fall where they fall.
Yeah.
But my biggest thing is when I look at the landscape of just fuck podcasting. I mean, like, just the city in general. Like, you know, when you, it's your city. So it's like, you know, I'd imagine people in Detroit love Detroit. I'd imagine people in fucking LA love LA. They got tons of songs about it. People in Brooklyn love Brooklyn. It's Philly. Why you don't want to see Philly, like, just be great and have great shit and do great shit? But then I look at the landscape, and then I look at the architects, 2, the people that got put in power, and then 3, what's going on like the ground to the ceiling level.
Oh, you pieing right now.
I'm just being real.
Oh, you pieing right now.
I'm being real. Sometimes when I look at it, I'm just like, yo, it's mistakes all across the board.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we've gotten to this weird place of just a lot of things that should go off don't go off. Yeah, I'm not even speaking about this or us or me or you. I'm just speaking about in general, where it's like, Philly is the 6th largest metropolitan area in the country. How did the Laugh House close? Why we don't have this? Remember we had that conversation at dinner where it's like, why we don't have all these different things? And it's like, I mean, y'all empowered people that's not their point of interest or their motivation. But then I sit and I look at certain situations that get created and nobody wants to back it or get behind it, because when they look at the list, it's like, ain't nobody on there for me to Joe up. I'm cool.
Yep.
Until something goes left, and then it is somebody to Joe up. Now it's like, oh shit, we gotta, you know what I'm saying? And to me, at times, I just feel like it's all a big. I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and it was like, he was basically telling me how he knew Meek was gonna be in the position he is. I knew Meek was going to be an international superstar. And I'm like, no, you didn't.
None of us knew.
And he was like, yes, I did. And I'm like, no, really. Like, I don't know if you really remember, but like Ron and them used to film when we would be in the studio and shit. I know for a fact there's video of you saying Meek is trash. This exists. And he like, I mean, he wasn't like trash. I'm like, this is what
you said. People, we've reached a point in the simulation where niggas don't even want to be held to their own words.
And it's like, I told him, I'm like, yo, it's okay, because I legitimately didn't see Meek being. I thought it would be Reed Dollars. I thought Cicero had a shot. I thought Jahad.
Chief Raw had a shot.
Cassidy.
Vodka had a shot.
It was a lot of motherfuckers where it was just like, I saw a lot of other people being in that spot where you talking about hanging out with billionaires and being an international star and having songs that live the test of time. And I didn't see that. And that's okay. But it's like the Reasonable Doubt shit. I knew from the moment when Mary J came on, I knew.
You didn't know.
And it's like, no, you didn't. And it's okay to say that. And that's my biggest thing now, where it's like, I'm cool with you having your reservations with whatever. Yeah. Keep them though. And that's kind of the way it has to stay. And it's funny because I watched a live feed with Joe McKean on it. You know who Joe McKean is? He won the main event from sort of like the Broomall area, like the outskirts of PA or whatever, Philly or whatever, but he won the main event. And he was talking on it, and that guy asked him, like, has things changed in your life since you won the main event? And he was like, for me, no, I kind of think I'm the same person. But he was like, I'll be honest, it is kind of like weird the way people like kind of treat me now. And he's like, what do you mean? He was like, I mean, I still dress the same and act the same. Like I eat at the same restaurants and, but people talk to me a little bit different. People intercept me differently now. And he was like, yeah, they always say money changes you. And he's like, I don't think that's true at all. I think money changes people's perception of you to where they view you in a different lens, so they think you're different.
Yeah, they feel like they got to tiptoe around you or ass kiss or, you know what I'm saying, or just go out of their way to just not be offensive. And it's like, yo, just be normal.
Just... It's a lot of y'all who are friends with me and speak with me and all of that. Just do that. Yeah. It's a bunch of people though on the flip side who never said a word to me. And I've kept a good mental Rolodex of the ones who don't speak. And I don't hate you, but I just know we don't speak. So there's no reason for us to ever speak. Yeah. Regardless of how good it might go or how bad it might go. There's just not a reason. So, I told her, I'm like, yeah, I think people for the most part are genuine. The people who you like really, I guess you pay attention to. Right. You know what I mean? But Yeah, you know, I just think that's part of growing and going into some shit, especially uncharted waters, is, you know, you might not have a safety net. You might have a huge safety net.
Yeah.
You know, what Jay-Z say? Pharrell told me to take the safety net. Like, that's just life. You know what I mean? Like, it's the way it go. But it was a good conversation. I just wanted to see how you felt about some shit like that. Like, you know, sometimes we go down these little joints.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Apparently Twitter got limited the other day.
It was a troll.
It was fake.
It was all a troll. It came from Elon's page, but he was trolling.
Okay.
And I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know what the inspiration behind the troll was or whatever.
You're still on Twitter. Well, we are on Twitter.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's you.
It's me.
100% of the time. How do you view Twitter nowadays? Do you still like it?
No.
Okay.
I'm on Twitter. Like here's the problem with Twitter, right? I'm gonna give y'all a quick synopsis for those of you out there that are active Twitter users. The problem with Twitter is that Twitter is the only app where you can say exactly what you meant to say, and people will intentionally misrepresent what you're saying. And it's a very furious. It puts people in very furious positions because it's like you're having to defend something that you absolutely didn't say. And Twitter, unlike any of the other apps, it can happen from the first interaction. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't even take you to break a certain barrier of content interaction, like 10,000 people interacted with this, whatever. No, from the first person, you could be
someone who knows you.
Someone who knows you. You could be put. So you trying to say, motherfucking McGruff the crime dog or Whoop Clifford? Yeah. Like just this dumbass shit. Like, but that's it's a very like argumentative, like fuck you mean, gotcha. This you, like, the tone of the app has changed where once upon a time, we used to just, like, go in there and just say the craziest shit of all time, and it was all in context because we were all out of context. So because we were all operating lawlessly with no rules, it made it to where the app was at its peak 2010 to 2013, and then from there, it's been a slow fall off of, like, content moderation, AI that detects what you're saying but strips the context from it, shit like that. Like, it's not a very fun place to be. So I'm solely on Twitter, 1, to promote, 2, to interact with my friends, like people that I know. But within that, you still have to like operate the app with certain safeguards in order to prevent yourself from being totally like misrepresented in something that could be deemed to be very straightforward, thought out, manicured, and all of that. And then the first person that come in contact with it is, so what you trying to say is like...
It's just so crazy because I remember, I was talking with somebody the other day and she was like, you remember Third Shift? And I'm like, yo, remember that's how we got like third shift was like, man, like you. And then I was watching To Catch a Predator clip on YouTube, and I'm like, yo, when T-Cap
Sundays,
oh my god, and it's just like, it was the most outlandish shit ever, and it was all in fun, just having a good time. There ended up being football games behind that shit, like it was just a good ass time. And in the last couple years, like I remember when I like. What's it called? I didn't delete it.
Scrubbed it.
I didn't scrub it, but you know when you like postpone it. What's the word I'm looking for?
Disabled.
Disabled. The postpone. Next 2 weeks we be back. Yeah. When I disabled Twitter, it was like, yo, one, I watched people change just who they were behind this shit. But the biggest thing for me was like, yo, I come on this app now and it's like the energy of you're allowed to say whatever's on your mind, to me is kind of out.
Oh, completely.
And
out.
it just turned into like, we're just going to find who has the tweet that we don't. Basically, we're going to dick ride 9 people. And out of that 9 people, they're going to find the one tweet that we should all bid on today. And we'll find that tweet. Then they'll go through that person's whole media to find pictures of his wife or his kids or his car. And we're just going to make him or her the bid for the day.
Yeah.
And that went on every day for like 6.5 years. And I was just like, I think I've had enough of this.
Yeah, this is trash.
I think I've had enough of this shit. And I disabled it. And when you disable it for 30 days, it deletes.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, yo, I don't miss it like at all. You know, like just because it's a different, at least to me at the time, it just seemed like a different place.
Yeah.
And when I talk to people, that's the one they always give me was like, yo, it ain't shit like it used to be. And it'd be like, why you still on that jump?
Still present.
Nah, I mean, because one day, it'd be like, just try and catch a vibe,
Yeah,
bro.
all
Like,
of the
that
OG
shit is
to
crazy.
all the OG tweeters out there, I'm here to let you know it's never going back to how it was. Never, never. We've already crossed certain Mendoza lines where it's like we can't go back because it would represent society taking a step back if we went back and we just added the lawlessness and the brutal unadulterated honesty that Twitter was known for. If we brung that shit back, that would basically be looked at in like a microscope of an examination of society taking a step back. So that's never going to fucking happen. You know, people have realized that, you know, with the right crafting of, you know, 280 characters now, because it used to be 140, now it's 280. The right crafting of 280 characters, a nobody can become a somebody. You can go fucking viral just for fucking sharing your thoughts. You know, you attach, you know, video to it. That gives you a boost on the fucking algorithm. You attach an image to it. That, like, people have just become very savvy at social media in general. And, you know, Twitter has been used to make a lot of just bullshit ass people into kings and queens.
I think that's the part, though. Like, you see how you just said people have become savvy and understanding the algorithm?
Super savvy.
At one point, Twitter, Instagram, it didn't feel like it was an algorithm.
All organic.
You had to become savvy at. You kind of just existed in it. Do you remember us making jokes about each other, slander and all of that?
Yeah.
It wasn't like somebody was trying to beat the algorithm. It was just we interacted and being silly. I remember putting a picture of KHA next to the nigga who was trying to get Ricky to go to USC. You know what I'm saying? On Boys in the Hood. That was the type of silly ass fun we used to have. You remember when Mitch had the picture of him with his leg out dancing? Ayo found a mannequin from like one of them 90s hip hop stores that was doing like the same shit. Like,
They put Ayo next to Manny Pacquiao.
dog. You remember when Ayo died on Twitter?
Do you remember when Ayo did Lakers camp on Twitter when he was trolling? He was at his grandma's house talking about, yeah, day 3 of camp. Niggas really thought A went to the league, man.
It was just a fun, good ass place, and somewhere along the line that just stopped, and it became women trying to like curve every tweet into you a woman hater or abusive or this and other, and then it became men trying to say how women ain't shit and they all hoes and all women.
So it became a digital soapbox.
It became a soapbox, and it just listen. When somebody said this shit to me the other day, like, yeah, man, Twitter on that bullshit. Apparently, they limited people to like you could only see 6,000 tweets a day or some shit. I was just like,
but then like when you seen it, and then it's like you see who's like quote tweeting it, and it's like Elon quote tweeting himself, and he's like 8,000 such and such. Okay, we just hit 10,000. I'm just like, this is just a big ass elaborate ass fucking troll.
Oh, okay.
Like he's just a bored billionaire. Like just a petulant, bored billionaire with nothing.
You know the richest person in 2013 has 73 billion, and now he's the richest 10 years later in the world, and he has 213 billion.
Damn,
213 B's, dog.
That's a lot of bees.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll buy a social media that, you know, the whole world is on. You know what I'm saying? How much is it? 40? I can do 40. I need cash. Like, it's going to take me a couple days to get the cash. Like, yeah, 213 billion.
yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy as fuck, man.
Bernard Arnault is up there too,
Yeah, he right up there. Up in the 200 area. And
selling
shit.
luxury goods.
I mean, that's where you can get it at.
Selling the fuck luxury goods, man.
Yeah, but I got posed with that question the other day. I just wanted to see how you felt about it.
Yeah, I mean, I just think the tone of the app is like fucked up, and it's like, yo, you know, you land in like there's pockets of Twitter, and it's like when you land in the wrong fucking pocket, boy, you gonna stay there for a long time. Like your tweet getting the wrong motherfucking hands, your tweet getting the hands of one of them, you know, them Afro rocking sisters with that ring in her nose and shit like that. Yeah, yo, you say the wrong shit, nigga, your ass is going up.
She got a Nefertiti chain.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. How do you feel about the whole situation in Chicago with the woman whose son shot the guy? We didn't discuss that.
Oh yeah, we didn't. And somebody actually hit me up on Instagram to talk about this or whatever. I've been seeing different perspectives, and
it's funny because somebody who's a fan of the show was telling me how Twitter the first day went down that rabbit hole, and then you saw motherfuckers fighting it. Then when shit flipped, and now it's like, huh? And everybody's flipping, but you still now you got a whole nother side of people fighting it. So what happened was this guy, I believe his name was Jeremy or Jeffrey.
I don't know what the nigga name is. Bozo. That's his fucking name.
Definitely was on some weird shit.
Bozo. I have a lot of thoughts on this in case y'all can't tell already. I have a ton of thoughts on this.
Go ahead, you start while I pull his name up.
So my thoughts on this is this, right? We have to be better men.
Jeremy Brown.
What's
his name?
Rip Bozo. My initial thought on all of this is we have to be better men. We have to be better leaders. We have to be better stewards of our communities. We have to be more careful with, how we treat our women, not just the women that we fucking have sex with or have some sexual interest in, but all of our women. Mm-hmm. We have to be better leaders for the next generation of young men, and we have to maintain our masculine frame. And as Jeremy Brown showed the world, the lesson that everybody should be learning from this, men in particular, is when men break their masculine frame, the consequences are dire.
Deadly.
You can lose your motherfucking life because you were not being the best version of your goddamn self. Her as a woman, her arguing back and forth with this crazy rabbit nigga, whatever the case may be, she's not in her feminine frame neither. However, what happened to her versus what happened to him is the equivalent of killing an ant with a sledgehammer.
So her name is Carlisha Hood.
Carlisha Hood. So she's they in a hot dog spot apparently.
A burger spot in Chicago. Apparently she's 35. Her son is 14. She pulled up to the burger spot. Her and the son get out. I guess they come in. Now you don't see what happened as far as the argument.
We break in on it at a fever pitch.
At its
plot
apex.
twist.
Yeah, very, very, very strange plot twist. And he's screaming, yo, get your food, whatever. Now, whatever was said, she didn't attack him.
Right.
She didn't go on him. And I'm going to just be there. I'm going to just be that guy. Y'all know y'all probably going to get mad. I don't give a fuck. I don't believe in hitting women. That's just me. But you got to understand, I'm a large man. So my frame kind of like dictate, like me understanding in my life what I am and what I look like at a young age, kind of like, you got the fork in the road. Because I know niggas that fight women. I've seen them.
I've seen it.
I don't hang with them, but I know men that will square up and fight women. Me just being as large as I am, I just know that's off the table.
Yeah, the optics are bad, and the repercussions are 100-fold. It
did.
Don't matter what she did.
I just
when the law pull up or a nigga pull up and see you beating her ass.
I just know
you going to jail or you going
I'm
to
a
heaven.
big man.
You going to meet your maker. Those are the two
You ever
options.
been sized for a ring?
Yeah.
What's your ring size? You know?
Probably like a 9 or something.
The average men joint is an 8 or a 9. My ring is a 14. Like there's no way on earth they're just letting me with these hands rock. It's just not happening. So it's like, yo, I know for a fact I'm not hitting no woman. I don't give a fuck what happened. I'll walk away. I've been in a situation, like I said before, where a woman swung on me. I'm going over here because I can't do this. There was none of that going on, and he cocked back and put his like hips into that shit, and she told the son, go to the car. And you could already see them spinning the narrative because she's black, single mother apparently. She had the scarf on her head. Mm-hmm. They tried to say she told the son to go get the gun. She said go to the car. Mm-hmm. She told him go to the car. Because that's what a mother do, go to the car.
Son, yeah.
Regardless of what the fuck happened here, go to the car. The son goes to the car and gets her legal gun. She had a legal gun, registered to carry, all that shit. Because the son like, masculine frame. This shit not looking right in here to me. Mm-hmm. He comes back in the store. When he comes back in the store, the dude goes on his mom. Punches her in the face 3 times. He pulls out a gun, shoots him in the back. Yep. hits the dude. He runs out the store. The kid comes out, shoots him again. He died.
Good job, kid.
He died and transferred to the hospital. And you know the initial joint was they locked her and him up.
Yeah.
And the narrative was mother forces son to kill man during dispute.
Then walk him down.
And that was the narrative. And my homie was telling me, he's like, yo, Twitter that night was like, it was just terrible.
Yeah.
Like it was just a terrible thing to see. So then they investigated, they did their due diligence as far as like investigating, trying to figure out,
Talking to
okay,
people there, get the
what
video.
happened, let's get the video, whoop, 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 whoop. They dropped all charges on the mom and the son. And you got people now that are like outraged on the flip side and was like, oh, well, you know, if this would have happened, if that, and it's like, yo, all the ifs are, if was a fifth,
Yeah, let's
I'd
just
be
deal
drunk.
with what is.
Like, fuck a if. What actually happened? What happened is there was a verbal altercation that this man took to an extreme. Like, I don't think people really understand. When you punch somebody in the face, you run the risk of permanent damage. Mm-hmm. If I fracture your orbital socket, if I put your nose bone up into your, you can really you can kill somebody.
Yep.
Rock in your face, stab your brain with your nose bone.
I know somebody who caught a manslaughter because he punched somebody in the head and the nigga fell and busted his shit open, fractured his skull, died from a brain bleeding.
I was just watching a show last night, The Bear on Hulu. Very good fucking show. Very, very good show. And on the show, there's a guy named Ralphie. He's the older cousin or whatever, and they had a bachelor party at their restaurant or whatever, and the motherfuckers get drunk, start fighting, whatever. So he jumps in. He's fighting the guys. He's still off on the guy. Boom. The dude end up hitting his head and then his neck on the fucking countertop to the restaurant or whatever. Passed the fuck out. Police come. He get locked the fuck up. So now he's in a holding tank. He asking police, like, yo, what's going to happen if he don't wake up? He said, oh, you getting charged with manslaughter. Like, he was like, so you better hope his ass wake up. Cop come back like 8 hours later. The best day of your life. You lucky. He woke up. You getting charged with aggravated assault. Like, it's like that was one punch. So that's the consequences. That's a man hitting a man. So imagine a man hitting a woman with all this force or whatever the fucking case may be.
I punched somebody years ago, and we was on our way to school. We got into a fight. It was like a bum or whatever, downtown. But he was going crazy, and he was like having one of them episodes or whatever, them crazy nigga episodes, and he like was fucking with all the kids. Mind you, we in high school. You know what I'm saying? And when I tell you, like, I had a clean shot. Like, he was here, and he looked that way at my homie. And, I mean, I lunged down, and, I mean, left hand, like, yo, and I didn't even realize I hit him that hard till he was, like, on the ground. And, like, that was when it, like, I didn't killed this man. Help me get rid of this body. Mind you, we in front of City Hall. Yeah, like we right at 15th.
Push him in the Suey hole.
Yo, dog. The cops was waiting for us when we got to school. Cause we got on the 27. Mm-hmm. We didn't get on the charter. We got on the local bus, like the 27. And instead, we didn't get on the school trip or something. So everybody who was out there got on the bus and was talking about it when they got to fucking school. So all the cops like, yeah, where did the kids go? Oh, they all got on the 27. Where did 27 go for school? Saul. Yeah. They come to fuck there. And it was just like, we got there. It was like, y'all, okay.
Yeah, you too. Yeah. Come with us.
Yeah, you too. Right up, right now. But yeah, man, you can do damage. So it's like him punching her in the face like that. The young boy went to the car because shit didn't look right. He got the gun. And my question is, what do you do in that situation? I'm just being real with you, and I'm not a killer, I'm not a shooter, I'm not none of that. But like my mother I couldn't imagine me and my mom in 7-Eleven on 73rd and Elmwood, and knowing there's a gun in the car and seeing her arguing with somebody, and me get that and come back in the store and see this man punching my mom in the face. What? Yeah. They're like. I would have shot him and then walked up to the cops like, so I hear some paperwork.
Yeah. Here you have some questions for me.
They're looking for like, Dog.
And this is where drops
in the
in.
movies where they shoot somebody and be like,
Yeah.
like
And
what?
this is where my conversation drops in with, one of our listeners that I was talking to the other day, and he was like, yo, what would you have done in that situation? I said, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I would have stood over that nigga and painted the floors with his fucking brain particles. That's what I would have did. You don't put your hands on my mother, my sister, no woman I care about in front of me, and I'm just going to be like, oh, this looks odd. Like, no. And here's the thing that people don't understand. Self-defense extends past
Your
personal body. Self-defense can be for somebody else
saving somebody.
that you care about, somebody else that you're present there in a moment with. You can kill a motherfucker in the name of self-defense. And this dumbass nigga, Jeremy Brown, found out in the worst way possible. He paid for it with his life. It's like you woke up in hell, like, oh damn, I was tripping, huh? Like, and when I was saying to the person, the person that hit me up, I was like, yo, bro, I was like, some niggas don't understand nothing but a bullet. Like, he's clearly one of them niggas. So whether you having a manic episode, you off your meds, you having a bad day, your baby mom tripping, you just got brought back to child support, whatever. You don't get to go into the world and enact violence and be menacing to just any and everybody that you come in contact with. Because I promise you, if it was a nigga that played for the Chicago Bears or whatever the fuck that was standing there right then and there, he wouldn't have had all that energy for him.
No.
So and it's like, and then the other point that I made was, when in the history of life has you better shut up or shut the fuck up actually shut somebody the fuck up? That has a shut the fuck up and you better shut up has a 0% success rate.
What he say? When he leave, I start talking again.
It's like that shit doesn't work. And it's like, yo, we all understand as humans that confrontations escalate. You say this, I say that. You say this, I say that. You fucking grab a knife, I grab a baseball bat. You grab a gun. Like, this shit just fucking escalates. So it's like, to pretend that's not the natural order of things is disingenuous.
Yeah, no, it was a shocking thing to see. So they let the mother out, they let the son out. Did you see his family's like goings-ons and carryings-ons after the whole thing? So they had a vigil for him. They had the cardboard cutout because, that's, whatever. They had the cardboard cutout. His sister shows up to the joint with an airbrush shirt of him, and the shirt says Knockout King on it. And I'm just like,
that's why he got knocked out.
and she,
well, he got knocked off.
And she's on the live like, yeah, y'all hating y'all. I see my post I'm in share 10,000 times. Y'all making me lit. Yeah, my brother the Knockout King, because that's what it is. And da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, huh.
See what I'm saying? You can't, a nigga like that, this is the ecosystem he comes from.
And I'm just
you
like,
can't reason with a nigga like that. You gotta kill him.
And I'm like,
I'm sorry. You gotta kill him.
I'm like, yo, at no time did you think this out to like Knockout King. It's just like, what,
yeah, Knockout King. This is the environment that he's come. Y'all think this shit is normal. Y'all think this shit is regular.
Yeah, it's just a real shock. So now the Carlicia Hood, she's suing Chicago for
wrongful imprisonment,
all of that stuff, the trauma.
Yeah, she gonna get paid. Don't even worry about it. She gonna get paid.
And it's just it's a sad situation to see, but I don't know. My dad told me when I was young, just keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah.
You'll avoid a lot of situations. Just keep, like, I look back on all the crazy situations I've had. You know what the fucking main ingredient was? My hands touched somebody else.
Yeah.
That shit with the nigga out there in front of City Hall, my hands touched somebody else. Me, a couple of motherfuckers I done hit in life, slapped and shit. Like, it's like, yeah, my hands touching someone else. Where it's like, if you just don't do that, it's pretty easy breezy.
Yeah.
You can pretty much coast through this shit.
Yeah.
Like, that be the biggest joint. Touching motherfucker.
My biggest problem with the whole shit is, going back to my original point, this guy, this bozo Jeremy, not maintaining his masculine frame has altered the lives of all of these people.
All this shit.
You got the woman, you violently assaulted her. Her son shoots you. Her life is forever changed because she's the woman that got punched out at the fucking burger spot. Her son fucking got to deal with the fact that 14 and reconcile with the fact that he took a man's life. However, in defense of his mother. all of these fucking witnesses, all of the people that's in here got to see your stupid ass get shot
The
the fuck
Burger
up.
Hut workers is behind the glass like, yo, man, what
the fuck? So
Like,
because you made a dumb decision and you couldn't maintain your fucking frame and just literally be a man, not to oversimplify the shit, but just be a fucking man, because you are overly emotional and all of that shit, you paid with your life, and then all of these people's fucking lives has changed forever. And men need to understand, it's like, yo, a woman that I don't know can't get me that mad. It's impossible. I don't care what she's saying.
women
I don't care what
know
she did.
can't get me
like,
that mad.
Like, can't get me that mad where it's like, bitch, you say one on my grandma. I'm knocking you the fuck out. Like, nah, bro.
Like that, honestly, that's just in your character. This is
who you are.
What Drake say? It's in my nature. Like this is who you are, because this shouldn't even be happening. And I'll be honest with you, yo. Like, and I know motherfuckers act like they tough and the baddest and all this bullshit. I'm legitimately scared of me being that person. I couldn't imagine a video dropping of me punching a woman in the face like that. Because you don't know what the fuck gonna happen. Because you punch somebody's mom in the face like that, you're liable to, like, motherfucker come take your family somewhere.
Yep.
Like, I'm bringing the big van.
Yeah.
And I took the middle seat out.
You was raised wrong. I gotta get rid of all you motherfuckers.
You know, and that was my biggest thing growing up through our life. It wasn't that I was like, you know, it just, you gotta be afraid of repercussions. I think that's healthy.
Yeah, it's
like
called a healthy. Me and my
fear.
folks talk about it all the time. A healthy fear.
Yeah, like if you don't have a healthy fear,
You'll do anything.
you're not wired right.
Yeah, you'll do anything.
You know, they say a lot of serial killers don't have a strong sense of smell. You ever read that? No. I read that apparently, like, several serial killers, their sense of smell is like fucked up.
So that's why Dahmer was living with the bodies.
Because think about it, to be around all that blood and guts and shit smelling like, and you just, Dahmer just like, yeah, damn, Mookie Betts had 2 home runs. He chilling.
Like, what's that smell?
Yeah.
The pizza?
Oh. Remember the chick knocking on the door like, yo, the whole hallway.
Yeah, like, what the
what's
fuck?
going on? And he's, oh, man, I got some bad pork. Went to Murray's, motherfucking pork ain't fresh this week.
Yeah, them chitlins the same.
Meanwhile, you got a rack of nigga in the fucking fridge.
Yo.
A rack of niggas.
Rack of niggas. That's crazy. Poor Booty instead of saying, when they rushed to Jeffrey Dahmer crib, all they found was 10 niggas in the freezer and a case of Frank's Red Hot. He was just eating them. A case of Frank's Red Hot. Not funny, but funny. Not funny, but funny. But yeah, man, I just always had a healthy fear of somebody's father, somebody's older. Like, I couldn't imagine me hitting a woman and then her brother is a nigga that look like Dan. And he coming for me with the energy of, I just hit his little sister in the face. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's a
like
dumb,
that has to feel, you have to feel something.
It's a dumb reason to throw your life away.
Dog.
It's a dumbass reason, like,
dog.
Because a nigga not coming to ask you why did you knock my sister out at the
word
burgers?
with you, young brother.
Hey, can we parlay for a minute,
Yeah.
Jack? Like, no, it's not gonna go that way.
My little sister got this Hasim Rahman knot.
Yeah. She gonna be holding her eye. And that's him right there.
Like,
You know what that something right there means?
yeah.
It means shoot the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Shoot the shit out.
It's a bad joint, man. Like, you I think you worded it the right way. Like, staying in your masculine frame. That's something we gotta, like, teach.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, one of the questions we had on the Patreon this week was, did we fail as, like, the OGs of the generation? And I don't think it's necessarily that we fail, because we're not necessarily OG status. We're not 40, 50 years old and shit yet. But I do think at somewhere along the line, niggas took accountability and chucked it out the window.
Yeah, because niggas hate accountability. These new niggas, they hate accountability so much, they'll advocate for a nigga they don't even know ducking accountability.
We took accountability and chucked it out the window for the betterment of I don't have to put no effort in.
Yeah, ease of operation.
Exactly. Where you got like back in the day, there was like a pride to a man being like a man. Mm-hmm. And then somewhere along the lines, you remember where it's like if you sat on a bitch couch all day and played the game, you was a loser.
Yeah.
Then it feels like through this new shit where it's like if a bitch work hard and you not doing nothing, it's like
you won.
Teach me the game.
Yeah.
It's like that.
You might end up with FaZe Clan. You never know. She need to support your dream. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the problem was all the OGs got locked up at the same time.
Literally at the same time.
So it wasn't like
Philly, Chicago, Baltimore,
So it wasn't
DC.
like it wasn't like you got the old nigga and you got the nigga you bringing up. You ain't get a chance to bring the nigga up because you know when the fans come in, just come. You don't know I'm about to get locked up. Let me prep everybody.
But I think it goes further than street. I think it goes further than like the street element to like black life because again, look at my block. There wasn't a heavy street presence,
Right.
but there was a man presence. And I look at, like, not trying to be funny, all the successful men on my block, none of them was doing street shit. There was one, I think, I don't know. But I
Nigga was very mysterious.
I feel like the nigga had a prowler. You know what I'm saying? Me and Joel still
yeah.
geek about that. Like, why this nigga had a prowler? Like, so, but I look at it where it's like we had just a bunch of men who were just solid in being men.
Yeah, but you looked up to them men. What it is,
That's what I'm saying.
This generation looked it up to the drug dealer or the hustler, and the one that provided the organization of it is gone. So now everybody is winging it. So niggas is making up their own rules as they go along. So now it's like the disconnect is completely gone. So when the non-drug dealer working nigga, come here, young boy, man, fuck out of here, 08. That's the first thing you get. So now the OGs that can uplift them, all right, well, fuck y'all niggas now.
And there's a systemic element, too, that we missing in terms of the fact that the government incentivized our women to not have men in the household also. Through programs like Section 8 and welfare and all of that shit, you don't qualify if you got a man in the house. So a lot of these young men's first interaction, you know, with a man of some form of like older stature is not like a father or older brother or whatever. It's a nigga on the street, and it's usually a combative interaction. It's not like positive because they don't assimilate a positive response to older men because they mom and they father got a fractured relationship. She probably talking nonstop shit about the dad all day fucking long. So he internalizes that shit. So he automatically assumes that like any older man that's trying to tell me what to do is a fuck nigga unless he can directly provide me some sort of opportunity or monetary compensation.
One thing that fucked me up, I remember having a conversation with BF. We was down in Carolina, and he was saying this shit like, yo, I've had Jones where I go to the jail and like, you know, this young boy, he on the hook for 4 murders. Like, he got multiple bodies, 17, 18, multiple bodies, and he's just, like, tough as nails, or so you think.
Yeah.
But he's like, then I have a conversation where I talk to him directly as a man speaking to a child, and all that shit crumble, and they become little boys and shit. And it'd be like...
in jail, you can penetrate that shit, because they ain't got no choice but to listen to something. On the street,
I'm just at that point you failed already.
No, I'm just saying more so just the mentality where it's like you could tell he never really had a man speak to him from the place of a man speaking to a child.
There's a total void of male to grown man to young man interaction.
Because I say it to myself again, like noticing, I look at it's niggas that's 42 that act like they 19. You see what I'm saying? So it's like if you 19 and you looking at this doofus where it's like, nigga, you trying to go to the same spot I'm going to.
Fuck the same hoes.
You dress like me. You chasing after the same little bitch and you lying. I'm not. It's like, what the fuck is the purpose of listening
You
to
telling the chick you 29.
You know?
20.
I'm 45. I was thinking that's 50. They call you OG.
Somebody yesterday on Facebook was like, bitches all want a sugar daddy. I hope you found this funny. The nigga said, bitches all want a sugar daddy till he waking them up at 6 a.m. to go help himself sell watermelons.
Sell watermelons. Gotta earn your keep around here, young girl.
These melons is $10. These are $5.
You see, I'm crying when I tell you I saw that shit yesterday. I
about my business operations.
Yo, bitches all want a sugar daddy till he waking up at 6 a.m. to go help him sell watermelons.
Listen, when I lived on 42nd Street, man.
Don't get my britches off this.
I swear to you, I had a headache.
Me and Dan grew up in the same neighborhood. Dan grew up on 48th. I grew up on 42nd Street. The fruit man was legendary.
Fruit man, legendary. Let you slide until you get your paycheck. I get my stamps on the first side, baby.
Come through that pickup truck with that motherfucking PA system that Jerry rigged on that jump.
Why?
Fruit man. Get your fresh watermelon.
Why would the nigga come wake you up? Sell watermelons. Like, what?
Don't get my britches off the dress, man.
Yo, man.
My trousers.
Yo. But yeah, man, there's a big disconnect from like, remember how we always talk about those forgotten years of rap?
Yeah.
Like 02 to 07 just seems like a forgotten era of rap. It almost feels like it's the same in like urban life. Like there's just a forgotten little segment of life that just like didn't exist. That's how it be feeling at times.
Yeah.
Like we're just missing like a key element to like life. It's like even me, I'll be honest. It was like I was 19 and then I was 30.
No, real shit.
That's how this shit be feeling some days.
Yeah.
Like it'd be like, yo, I was 19, we was chilling on my steps, smoking weed, hanging out, and then I had a family. Like, it's like almost a blur.
Yeah, my experiences that I remember from my life, I remember way more from my 30s than my 20s.
You see what I'm saying?
Like I was doing little cool shit and stuff like that, but I'm just like, I don't really latch on to it. Yeah, it's really like a blur. Like your 20s go so fucking fast, man. That shit don't make no sense.
And you know, we through a lot of the things that we talk about on here, you know, mass incarceration, the crime bill, you know, police brutality, all of just the things that go on in black life where, you know, we have a set of things we have to worry about that no other people
external
have to worry.
factors.
It's just so much stuff we have to worry about. You know how you be feeling like it's not enough hours in the day? It almost feel like it's just not enough time to even get into worrying about saving the young boy. And I question, like back in the day, again, it goes to that like that consumer shit, that romantic consumerism, where it's like, how did Mr. Barry have time to be our steady quarterback on the block?
Right.
Because I don't have time to do that shit right now. You know what I mean? Like, how did Mr. Ben have time to come sit and talk with us every weekend or show us? I remember lifting weights down there with Mr. Charles or Mr. Parker turning the grill on. Showing us how to cook. Yeah, y'all need to know how to spark a grill. Like, he made it a thing to show us when we was like 10, 11 years old, like, this how you spark a grill. Right. This how you get the grill fire going. You stack the coals like a pyramid. And like, that was a real thing. I can remember Mr. Barry showing us how to do brakes on a car. Like, how did he have time to do this shit?
Yeah. They had a fixed income back then. Your income is fixed. Now, you need 3-4 different streams of income just to maintain.
But I also look at Mr. Ben, Mr. Barry, Mr. Parker, my pop, they weren't in line at Louis for 2 hours.
Right. No, that too, but you got to
realize.
We were simple people.
Yeah, we were simple people to where it's like they went to work, they got off work, and then they was in the community. They was out gardening, doing their lawns.
What's your mortgage? Your mortgage is $500. If you renting a house, it's $600.
I'm just talking about like life, like the way we kind of live.
I'm just saying
life.
because the way that the shit changed with the prices being up. If I got to work 2-3 jobs, I don't have time to sit and tell you, you know what I mean, what's going on.
I got to go to work. I'm leaving work.
I got to come in the house, take a shower, then I got to go do something else. So what this is like, with the way that the inflation is with these prices, you ain't got time but to work because you want to work 2-3 jobs just to break even.
Yeah.
So it's like, shit, I ain't got time to show you how to do nothing. I'm trying to find 2 hours of sleep.
But I just think it's crazy, like, looking back on, like, I remember, like, my first job, I was, like, 13, and old head on my block, he had a cleaning service, like a dry cleaners, and they did delivery. They had an office, like a big
like a facility
at the 51st and Parkside. You know that warehouse there. They had a spot in there or whatever. And he literally for the summer like took me, rode me. We was going around doing deliveries, pickups, and shit, drop offs or whatever. Paid me in there, and it's just like, I ain't had to do no bad shit that summer. I came back to school fresh. Right. Got some new Mecca.
Some of Nietzsche.
You know what I'm saying? It's the fat farm, right? You know?
Hey, everybody, you get a nigga, that nigga stealing. Oh, damn, these are Marys?
Yeah.
Nigga like, yo, Mr. Clarence, what happened to my Mary? What you mean, brother? What in the bag?
I don't like the aggression you coming at me with, young brother? Like, yeah, man, but I just...
Yeah, it's just fucked up. It ain't...
it's just fucked up.
Yeah, it's just fucked up. It ain't... It's no logical...
there's no explanation.
There's no explanation.
That's how it be feeling.
And the most fucked up part about all of it, the last 20 years was a blur. From 03 to 2023 was a fucking blur.
But my biggest problem with it is we made, like how I just brought up, the fact that the richest man in America in 2013 has 73 billion, and now the richest man in America in 10 years later has 213. So you telling me the richest person on American soil has almost 3x'd his money. Mm-hmm. Not 3x 30,000.
Right.
3x 70 billion.
Yeah.
And we have shit like that. We have people like LeBron James, Jay-Z, I'm talking about the black shit. Oprah Winfrey, Robert Smith. You got people that are Kanye, I mean like rich as fuck.
Yeah.
But then you sit and you look at like the lower side of black life, and it's just like all these schools closing, community centers falling the fuck apart. Do you remember what last year they didn't even open up half the pools.
Yeah.
Like half the pools just didn't open.
And the lifeguards.
I remember us going to Finnegan's. I remember that shit back in the day. Like you could go 52nd and like you could go get in the pool in the summer. You had real life things going on.
Yeah, we used to go to the joint on 63rd and Spruce. We used to go to the joint, what's the one behind the Please Touch Museum?
Memorial Hall joint.
Yeah. That joint, like
Kelly Drive.
We used to be around.
Like there was things going on, and I look at it where it's like, how do we have this obnoxious wealth on the top end?
Yeah.
But then the lower middle class and then the bottom, it's like you don't even have like a school to go to.
You know what it is? We need mid-level role models. All the role models is millionaires and billionaires.
Yep.
Athletes.
Or aspiring millionaires.
Shit that's about 97% unattainable is the people they look up to.
Yeah, nobody wants to be
that's
normal.
Making that $500,000 to $1 million that people look up to.
We had the conversation because one of the questions, we're going to get into some of them questions from the joint, but one of the questions was like, do you get the conversation now from like y'all families now that we married shit about having kids or whatever? And I'm like, we've going back and forth and had the convo, talked about whatever.
I ain't married and I've been having it. My mom is like, you know about tongue.
Yeah. and we the other day were just talking about having a kid in this day and age where it's like, I know people that are super successful that went to public school. I know a bunch of successful motherfuckers that went to Bartram. You know what I'm saying? I'm being dead ass serious. And I look at school now where it's like, you almost have to send your kid to a private institution. You want to, at least.
Right.
You don't want to, you know what I'm saying? You want to give them the best shot you can. So one of our good friends, his daughter go to a real nice school. I ain't gonna say what school or who he is, because he don't sponsor the show, and 2, y'all are crazy. But he know who he is, and he always talk about it. And I went and looked the shit up the other day, and I'm looking at like the tuition. Yeah. And it's like, yo, did you know how much school costs for these kids?
Bills through the roof. Can't do numbers like the Roots.
Dog. High school is $42,000. I was like, I'm gonna literally just be like, bro, screenshot all the work every year and just send that over here. Like 42,000.
That same friend said to us before, was like, yo, these people be talking all this big money shit and this and this and this. And it's like, well, how you got all this money and your kids go to public school?
It's like, but you see what I'm saying? Where it's like, I don't even have a kid. And that's the attitude where it's like, you want to give them the best shot that you can. You want to put them in the best situations. You want them to experience things that you necessarily didn't experience. And I went to a private school, so, say it again.
I already said I'm going to have a living nanny that's trilingual and homeschool.
Listen, I say it all the time. I learn more in the house than school. Yeah. Because my mom's a teacher.
Shit,
so
you see the kid now that was supposed to play football for Florida Gators. He got a 5.4 GPA. He graduated already and got 15 college credits. Mm-hmm. He reclassified. He's supposed to be in class of 2025 to be a quarterback in Florida. He's going to Ole Miss this semester.
I saw on the news.
17.
That's crazy.
I think it was the Alphas. They had a situation where they got like 3 black kids from the city, and they all they did like school, like tutoring some shit with them every Saturday or something. Yeah. But now all 3 of them got accepted to college with all this shit. One's going to Villanova, one's going to Penn State, and then the other one's going to Howard, I believe. But they and it's just like, man. But what if they don't do that?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And like the parents was on there, like, we so grateful for this situation because it's like, we like school
But that
is
goes back to saying we need
fuck.
them mid-level role models that people
Like,
look up to.
think about it. If you want to send your kid to a school that's $40,000 a year and you make 51,
Yeah.
it's like, all right, I got 6 racks.
Gotta start OnlyFans.
28 a year.
This
51 is being a little
shit,
generous.
this shit rough, man. And it's like we have to, as a community, right? We gotta identify the kids that just want to be like normal people and have a normal career, and they not trying to be like a rapper or an influencer or whatever. Like just normal. You want to be an engineer, you want to be a fucking electrician, you want to be whatever the fuck, and find those kids and identify them at 7, 8, 9 years old. And those are the ones that we bring up because the rest of these motherfuckers is lost.
Did you know what?
You know what? Damn, that's a good point because that's how we do the athletes. We notice how good they is at 6, 7,
And we take them out.
and we grip them up.
Yeah.
We should do the same thing for those kids that have a thirst for learning, that are in them books or whatever the fuck. They might not be athletically or or gifted in other areas, but they smart and they assimilate the stuff and they bright and they want to have a career and a family like normal salt of the earth people. Let's pour the same interest into them that we pour into these child athletes.
But here's the problem with that: the child athlete is gonna make us money on the back end.
Yeah.
So you being real good at math and wanting to go work at, GlaxoSmithKline, we're not gonna make anything off of that. With the athlete shit, we have like almost like a pipeline. This school will kick money to this school. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
On the strength of them going there and all that crazy ass shit.
We just got to get a little bit.
That's why I love Blue Chips so much. If you've never seen Blue Chips, please go watch Blue Chips.
Amazing
It's
movie.
an amazing film, and it talks about how dirty college basketball gets. Remember, Nick Nolte came to see Anthony Hardaway at Lou Gossett Jr. School, and all the coaches was there. Patino, all of them was there. And literally, Louis Gossett Jr. came out and was like, he's 6'6". Boy, shot up over here. He was 6'1" last year. Now he's 6'6". Dig deep into your pockets, brother. Dig deep into your pockets, brother. Because it's like, y'all going to put money into this donation or this fund for this school to operate if we get him to sign a letter of intent to go there. Yeah. And then when he there, it's all kinds of backdoor shit that work in athletic. Think about it, we just got to the point where the NIL deal shit was, I watched a short the other day on the board, the African boy who played for Kansas.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You don't know who I'm talking about. Talking about some
So the African boy played for Kansas. Somebody just text me.
Yeah, fuck you, Texas. Hold on, because I got to pull it up. God damn it. No, that ain't it. All right, here we go. Oscar... whatever. He African.
Okay.
This name right here. He played in Kentucky.
Okay, Kentucky.
You know what I'm talking about? So this past John with the draft, it was 3 big men that didn't get drafted who were like stars in college. But his NIL deal shit was so crazy. He was on a temporary visa from Africa. Mm-hmm. His visa wouldn't allow him to earn money in the States.
Oh, damn.
Through a different visa, through the NIL deal. They went to the Bahamas for a tournament and literally was like the moment he stepped off the plane, his agent had him running wild, doing shit because he was not allowed to do it in America.
Right.
And they was like, he didn't participate in none of the practices, none of that shit. And who's the Kentucky coach? Calipari. Yeah. Calipari was like, I'm not mad. Normally I would be, but I'm not mad because I understand what he's going through in the States. They said that 4 days in the Bahamas, he racked up $2.5 million.
Oh, my God.
They said he was signing mugs, cups, shot glasses, nigga, coasters,
Jeez,
whatever the fuck you can get your hands on. I was reading that shit like, it's really insane now the way that shit is working.
Damn.
But it made me watch a little short on YouTube about the shit. Hold on, I'm going to show you.
You know there's a whole movement right now about getting Reggie Bush his Heisman back and getting him into the College Football Hall of Fame.
He became a leading figure in name, image, and likeness in NIL deals, despite being unable to take full advantage of his celebrity due to holding a student visa. While he is allowed to sign sponsorship deals, he cannot make paid personal appearances, including autograph signings and commercial shoots, while he's in the United States with that visa status. His advisors were trying to change his visa status to extraordinary ability, which would enable him to fully monetize his celebrity. In 2002 August, he was temporarily free from the restrictions of his visa when the Wildcats went on a week-long preseason exhibition in the Bahamas. When the team's plane landed in the Bahamas, the first call he made was to his agent asking me, "Where do you need me to be?" And he did promotional work for 4 different companies before being settled in his hotel room on the first night. That nigga just was running, I got my bag with me. What were you doing? And during the Wildcats' downtime on the tour, he made numerous photo shoots and advertising reads and signed large quantities of memorabilia. UK head coach John Calipari was apparently unfazed with his off-court work in the Bahamas, reportedly telling The Athletic, "I get it. He can't do this stuff in the States. Oscar, you weren't there today, but we all get why you're not here with us and what you're doing." By the end of the tour, he had reportedly totaled up $2.7 million in NIL money. He used his first batch of NIL money to buy his mother her first home and establish a charitable foundation to benefit the people of his homeland. Like, nigga was running wild.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy to think where it's like, this star, this celebrity, this mega power, it's like, I can't wait till we go to the Bahamas for that week so I can finally
Run
get
it the fuck up by my mama crib.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
And they've been making millions upon hundreds of millions off of that shit for years. So wild dynamic. So that's why the athletic shit is always going to get.
Because it's money into
too much money.
But we as a society, as a people, it's like, yo, fuck the powers that be. We got to get more altruistic and planning for our collective future rather than like this athlete, that athlete, this fucking tuba player, this rapper, whatever the fuck. Like, we got to invest in the future of black society and understanding that it's like, yo, if we... You know, W.E. Du Bois talked about like the talented 10th, like 10% of 10% of us living our true purpose can change the fate of the entire fucking black race. So it's like, yo, with that in mind, it's one of them Jones where it's like, yo, these kids that's academically blessed and smart and you know, curious and all of that shit and want to be scientists and all of that shit, we gotta pour into them the same way that we pour into these fucking athletes and these rappers and these, you know, these talented, you know, kids, because being fucking academically gifted is a talent also. Yeah. But we're not treating it like that.
Oh, that's real. But yeah, all the big men, none of them got drafted this year. He didn't get drafted. He won National Player of the Year last year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Didn't get drafted. The white boy from Gonzaga, all-time leading scorer, didn't get drafted. Like, they were saying how it's like no country for big men no more. Whereas like these big 6'10" guys from college who dominate college just aren't getting drafted because the NBA is like, you need to shrink by 3 or 4 inches and develop a three-pointer before you can come the fuck over here.
Really need you to be like a tweener, like a 3-4.
Real shit. I want to knock out some of these questions. We had some real good ones, and I kind of want to like go into those. Shout out to y'all again. If you're not on the Patreon, please
get on
subscribe. There. Patreon.com/official TRPE.
Yes, indeed.
We had such an overload. We answered a bunch of questions on our end of the month wrap-up shows. But I kept a couple for this. With Black Music Month wrapping up, could you each share your top 5 underrated or underappreciated black musicians and or artists?
Musicians and or artists. For me, Shine is definitely on my list.
Like Sean Poe?
Sean Poe. Sean put out 2 classic albums.
What was the second one?
Godfather Buried Alive.
All right.
Classic album. He went to war with 50 Cent. Came out unscathed. Fucking ended up on the Lil Wayne Carter 4 album and all of that old shit. Got extradited. Ended up losing his voice, pivoted into something else, and now he's living his true purpose.
Has anyone ever gotten to why he lost his voice? Like what was the...
He was just trying dumb shit.
What do you mean?
He said, like, you know, he felt like he intentionally started rapping in a different pocket because he felt like that voice that he had on his first 2 albums was like the voice and the person responsible for breaking his mother's heart. For him, ended up in jail for 10 years. So when he came back to rap, he intentionally tried to like be in a different pocket, like in a more like Jay-Z, Pusha T, like sort of pocket as far as like how he was delivering this shit. And he was trying to like be more raspy as opposed to baritone, and just did a bunch of dumbass songs and just fucked his music career up.
Yeah, I don't get that.
But he got the bag from Def Jam. He got $7 million when he was in jail. So, you know what I'm saying? And then he ended up getting political asylum, from his home country of Belize. And now he's back and able to come to the United States as the ambassador of art, entertainment, and creativity for Belize. Yeah. So Shine is definitely on the list. I overly appreciate Shine's first 2 albums. I love them, and I love Shine. Underappreciated. Ja Rule, absolutely. Like, over time.
Yo. Did you watch the BET Awards the other day?
Yeah.
When they was running through, remember every couple of minutes they would have like the South, then they would have the West Coast. When they did the New York John with Fab, when Ja Rule came out and did Put It On Me, the crowd went nuts. And I'm like, yo, Ja songs are going to slap.
He got endless slaps.
Endless.
He annihilated Fat Joseph in a versus.
Oh, it was bad.
He might beat 50 in a versus. We've talked about this on the show before.
I've said it.
And he just has songs that stood the test of time. And he laid the blueprint for artists that came after him. Artists like Nelly, artists like Drake. Who else is kind of in that job pocket? I think he inspired some of Wayne's songs that he was doing when he was like starting to, sing a little bit and all of that. Like, Ja was the nigga. Ja was the standard for a minute. He was selling 400, 500,000 first week when niggas wasn't popping themselves off like that.
I personally think that Ja has like a career-long mulligan for the way people did him in, because people know it was unjust.
Yeah.
Where it's like, we knew that music was great and we still flipped.
Yeah, we just want to be dick riders.
Motherfuckers still, and I'm saying we because we was part of the shit.
Yeah, for sure.
We literally watched 50 Cent kill him and then do worser records in the same pocket that Ja Rule was dropping music.
He just had a bulletproof vest on when he did it.
And a Gucci do-rag. Just totally different.
50's got on camera and lied to us for 4 years. He said, no, the difference is the lyrical content.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking content. What are you talking about? It's all some thug love shit. What do you mean?
Dog.
Fucking idiot.
And when you look at the rundown, like song versus song, it's like, yo, Ja really, really got like, Ja got like 13 like slaps. Like smash records that slap.
I got more than that.
No, I'm talking about like top 40. Like where the record come on and instantly it's like slappage.
It must be the ass that got me like, damn.
Where all my all my ladies be living it up. We say like when that shit drops.
He makes feel good music. Like the way Uzi's music makes me feel. Pause is the same way Ja music. It just makes you feel like, damn, like I feel good. Like I want to go out. I want to put some shit on. Like it's feel good music. Underrated artists or musicians.
I got one for sure. Mace.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think Mace gets the respect of him being a rapper. Like, people don't really realize, like, Mace legitimately walked in the rooms with the Locks and Biggie and held his own.
Every time.
All the time. Like, never not a time. Like, it was like, Betha never took a day off. He never took a play off. And all them Harlem niggas knew, for as good as Jim was, for as good as Cam was, they wasn't fucking with
They never
Mace.
could fuck with Mace.
Mace was really that nigga.
Mace was the top nigga at a time.
Dog.
Like, Mace was number one. Y'all may not remember it.
Mace,
97, 98, Mace was number one.
They said I was murdered. P. Diddy
made me pretty. Did it for the money. Now can you get with me?
Girls want to know who is he. He gets busy. Spray so much Izzy, the girls get dizzy. Like, dog, like Mace was that nigga.
When I fell in love with Mace, pause, his Funkmaster Flex freestyle, when he rapped to Wu-Tang Clan, ain't nothing to fuck with. This be the Mace Bad Boy debut. The niggas in the back steady saying I'm soup. The girls in the front steady saying I'm cute. Paging me all day just to lounge in the coupe. I hit fam, tell Cam, pick me in the land. Go blow $6,000, go catch a quick tan. I'm a big trick. Drank expensive liquid, icy rich shit straight from the district. So how you expect you could jerk them checks? That was Funk Flex. 60 minutes of funk. How you expect?
No, he didn't say Funk Flex.
It was Funk Flex. It was Funk Flex.
What joint was he rapping with Biggie and Styles over the what the fuck beat was that?
Yeah, that was a different joint. He had
when he said the Because they wound up using, if a nigga smack me, I'ma smack him back. And if it leads to the guns, then that be that.
I think that was a radio freestyle.
Right.
This was on Funk's album.
The Black and Yellow joint.
Yeah. The first album.
Because that was a joint when Biggie was like, pop the gat, move precisely.
Yeah.
That was, yeah. Because Styles had the joint. Styles to me had the best verse. Where he was like, I'd rather not breathe than snitch. And I love my niggas, not my bitch. Locks pop the click. If the rap game was a dope game, I'd be a chink named Locaine. Sell him on, take off my own plane. Styles gotta go on.
Gotta go on there.
Oh, Styles gotta go on the list.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Styles has the best solo album out of any member of the Locks.
I said that shit years ago. Gangsta and the Gentleman.
Far and away.
Gangsta and the Gentleman is the fucking best. That shit is
Far
excellent.
and away. I know Jada Kiss has missed the verses, and we all appreciate Jada now way more than we did. But when it comes to quality, song for song, cohesive projects, Styles is the
I keep it a buck with you.
best
When
member
I
of the
looked at the Locks, when it was like them rapping, like them three, Sheik, Styles, and Luch. I mean, Sheik, Styles, and Kiss. Sheik to me was like the funny, he's gonna have the funny line, the quirky little, like Sheik is like you could tell he play around a whole lot. Kiss is like, I got perfect formatted 16, so that's just what I do. I'm gonna have the coolest bars that nobody can catch up to. You know what I'm saying?
slickest metaphors,
The
dopest
all of that
similes,
shit, you know?
yeah.
What was the joint with Guru with Kiss? I can never remember shit while we're recording. Because if we weren't recording, it would just flow right the fuck off. But I keep soon as the chrome smoking, right there, two in the dome smoking. Kiss keep funeral homes open. I fall back, blow an ounce in the dog. Bounce on a preem track like I bounce on a nog. Stop playing, y'all niggas to learn. And you know it takes something bad to happen for niggas to learn. I let the 40 cal give them a perm. You know this flow is like a bacteria. You know the game is like a bacteria, and my flow is a germ. Like, that's how Kiss rap. Perfect bars, perfect 16. But Styles just always was like, it just came from a place.
He had an element of surprise. Kind
not
like
even
this,
like surprise, but just like
You gotta put 316s together that make a whole story.
he just always comes from a place of like, I'm iller than niggas.
Yeah.
That was his attitude.
I pop shit because I'm the second best. The first was big.
Yeah. Like, remember when they was dissing 50 and he came on the joint like, don't listen to the hook. Listen to a crook. That's the rap.
And Styles had reminded me of Prodigy a little bit in the way of like, he would have like these patterns of like this in and out. Like, and you like trying to catch the pattern, but then when you hear it in completion, you like, oh, he
going down the motherfucking joint because my next person is Prodigy.
Yeah.
Prodigy is one of. I remember when Styles said it's only 6 nice rappers if you want to be real, and I was like, Jay, Nas, the 3 Locks members, and Prodigy.
Yeah.
Who the fuck else could he be talking about?
Yeah.
And my homie was like, you tripping? I'm like, no, yo, Prodigy, that nigga, dog. When HNIC came
classic.
out, listen, man,
2 classic solo albums.
dog. When HNIC, I remembered my first time hearing Keep It Thorough. That shit was like, what just happened?
Yeah, what the fuck is this?
What the fuck is this? Because it don't make no sense.
Then he come with Young Black Entrepreneurs with BG.
Dog.
I'm just like,
Dog.
And then on the flip side, Havoc is a producer, but them going at Jay-Z just
fucked everything up.
I say all the time, to
Fuck
me,
everything up.
Prodigy got the best opening lines in rap history.
that whole
all the
production
time.
of the HNIC album was just
It's a classic
a
album.
classic album.
I break bones, ribs,
$100 bills, pill on Ducatis, another 4 wheels.
Like, Prodigy was nuts. That nigga came on a song and said, I got the style of a stillborn child. I'm ill. If it's beef, poke him with the fork. Make sure he's done well. Like, wait, what?
Wait, huh? What happened?
I got the style of a stillborn child. I'm ill. If it's beef, poke him with the fork. Make sure he's done well. Streets raised me crazy. Now I'm immune to it. So when they start shooting, we don't stop the music. Keep it moving. That's how we do it. Been through more drama than the Baldwins. You still crawling. Apply street rules to the office. High performance. Rap author. I make millions off of melodic, hypnotic productions that'll fuck with your conscience and touch your emotions. Like, Prodigy was nasty, dog. Prodigy is for sure away on my list.
Absolutely.
And I got one last person I'm going to put up there on some rap shit. Busta Rhymes.
I was about to say, but Busta on most of the real list.
I've said it before. To me, Busta Rhymes legitimately has done enough, has been around long enough, and has shined enough to where, you know how Clint, shout out Clint over there, music is the love language, like how he do tiers. Busta Rhymes is a tier 1 rapper.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not saying that he's better than Biggie or better than Nas or better than Jay-Z. But
it's like, fuck the ranking. Let's go by
He in his
tier.
own-
Busta Rhymes is not a tier 2 rapper.
No.
Yeah.
He's a tier 1 rapper. I've seen him get on tracks with Lil Wayne, Jigga, Biggie, everybody, and he shined. So Busta Rhymes, and you talking about somebody that legitimately popped in 92.
Yeah.
We talking about 30 years in this shit, 30 plus. Busta Rhymes, to me, should be a tier 1 rapper all the time, but he never gets that, at least.
And I look at him as like how Biggie and Jay, you'll never get another Busta.
You'll never.
Get another Busta.
Never. You know, he said that he lost a battle to Jay-Z, and that's what influenced him doing that fast rapping shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, yo, he got a good joint where I told you where he talked about how he came up with "Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See." It was basically like him imitating Puff. He said literally like Puff heard him rapping and was like,
fuck is
he's
this?
like, yo, why you all this screaming and rah shit? Like, don't nobody bitches want to hear this shit. And he was like, he literally did "Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See," imitating Puff to be smart. And when you really look at the song, it's like 9-7, flip mode. Like he's acting like Puff. And even the flow, hit you with no delands. You could hear Puff saying it.
Yeah.
Hit you with no delands. So what you saying, yo? Silly with my 9 milli with the dilly, yo. Like he's imitating Puff to be funny.
That's how he say, yo.
And he played it. Puff was like, nigga, you got one.
Busted in
Yeah,
there.
like what the fuck? Like, but he said he lost a battle to Hove, and that was where it was like, I'm a rap faster than these niggas because I know they can't do it, and that's what influenced the whole all of that shit that he went into. But Busta Rhymes to me definitely.
And I got one last one. Currency, the hot spitter.
I never got my Jared gonna hear this and he gonna love you for that
Currency,
because
the
he's a
hospital,
currency fanatic.
Started with No Limit. He was under C Murder. C Murder, you know, unfortunately got locked up, derailed his whole shit, whatever. He was basically retired from rap after like his first project that he did was like, I think it was like a 504 Boys project with C Murder and a couple other people that was over there. And then he ended up with Cash Money. That flamed out. And then he's just been on an incredible run for the last like 12, 13 years as an independent artist, somebody that, you know, stays true to himself and stays true to his pocket. He got fucking his own merch company, his own touring company, all of that shit. And he got everything that the super popular niggas got. He got it. Cullinans, fucking McLarens, Ferraris, all of that shit. He got all of it. And he just knows how to monetize his product, his brand, and all of that shit in his favor. And he's a phenomenal rapper. And he make good-ass records. He got like 15 projects with Alchemist, projects with all of the, you know, indie niggas, Larry June, and this person. He got a project with Styles. He got a project with Jermaine Dupri that's out right now.
Jared, a Larry June nigga. He be talking about him a lot. I can see it.
Yeah, Currency is dope, man.
I couple Currency songs here and there, but I never really got like into the whole current, like, you know, like Big Crit.
Yeah, like, you gotta be into it to get into it.
Where it's like you kind of gotta get in there. And I didn't want to get in there. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's like, and it's Currency. People like Currency and Crit have such a vast music library. It's almost overwhelming. Like, well, where the fuck do you start? Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of them things. It was like that was like me with YoungBoy for a long time. It's like, yo, I like this little crazy nigga, but it's like he put out so much music so frequently. The shit that I like, that I hear on the radio or pop on YouTube, I can't even find this shit because like he'll put out a project and then put out a different single with a video for some shit from 4 years ago.
I don't even pretend to be the biggest. He got 2 songs I absolutely love. He got the Ashanti sample John with Kevin Gates over and over to that John.
Yeah.
And the John I think, and I leave now. What the fuck is the name of that? But I try, I can't lie, I be one for the try. But I'm caught up with these hoes, they gon' follow, balling like a baller blocker. Nevada. That shit is all of that. I like that.
He got a joint out right now that's like fucking everything up.
He got a joint with Birdman that's really dope too. He got like a whole album with Birdman.
Yeah.
Outside, that's my shit.
Yeah. Like he got great ass records, but it's like he doesn't release it in like a normal format where it's like, all right, where do I even start with this shit? No, you got to go back to AI YoungBoy 1, and it's like, well, what year is that? 2016. What? Like It's 2023.
Here's a playful topic. What's y'all annoying nigga list? My annoying nigga list is stay woke niggas, ball is life niggas, and I quit my job. I don't have a 9 to 5, but I got 24/7 lectures niggas.
My number one annoying niggas is internet guru niggas.
I'm about to say gurus.
I hate internet guru niggas. It's like, yo, niggas was fucking selling ham hocks out of their trunk like not that long ago.
Watermelons.
Yeah, watermelons was like, and now it's like I'm put like you fucking watch 40 YouTube videos now. I'm supposed to think you like a credit expert. Like, no, I don't fuck with none of them niggas. Like they annoying, they weird, they lie. Like they just lie, just unprovoked. Like you say, yo, this is some bullshit because such and such, they delete your comment, block you. Like them niggas are strange.
I
as
watched
hell,
a
yo.
nigga who got in trouble for the shit, and you know, when I remember the nigga legit was on his live feed, and he told motherfuckers to apply for a fucking auto loan through this one bank. He's like, because they send a check to you. He was like, don't give them no VIN number for the auto loan. He was like, what happens is after 90 days, they don't void the check.
It'll convert to
a personal loan with a lower interest rate to a perk. You know, a normal personal loan, you looking at 15%, but with an auto loan, if you get it for 3%, now you got that personal money on a motherfucking interest rate for what would be a car. And I'm sitting
that's
there
how you
like,
earn your leisure.
I'm sitting there like, yo, that's fucking
bank fraud.
Bank fraud. What? Then he had to come back on the joint. Yeah, I want to apologize because apparently some things got taken out of context.
No, you said follow these steps.
That's what you said, man.
You wasn't even part of the interview.
Dog.
You fucking leaned in and was like, niggas like, yeah, because my man right
Uncle
here.
Reggie behind the couch. No, let me tell you, niggas.
Yeah, no, so what you do is, and then in 3 easy steps, you be in jail for 15 years.
After 3 easy steps, you do 9 years, everybody.
Now you come home with a story to tell.
Yeah, the guru and the course niggas.
Yo.
Yeah, I group all of them together.
all
Like when I found out niggas was all selling the same courses.
Dog.
Like niggas are selling the same. Like they'll brand it differently for their audience or whatever. But then you hit.
Course nigga tell you to.
Then you go to the landing page and it's the same. I'm just like, so 14 of you niggas is selling the
Same
yeah, no,
template,
we pull resources and you know every month we just bust it all down. Like internet guru niggas are beyond annoying. Super woke niggas are very annoying too. Super woke niggas are very annoying.
Conspiracy niggas.
I know for sure I got one. Red Rolex niggas. Listen, man. I like, you know.
Blue button on that one.
One thing I appreciate with you, Dunbar, Kev, Rye, like we really have conversations about like horology and all of that shit. And it's just like knowing that like the one of the only, like they do a coral red like oyster perpetual, and then they got like
they did it for 2 years.
They have a red joint from back in the day, the Submariner. I think it's a 1680. I remember watching the video on, but it's like from like the 70s, where it's just like so it's like, why do y'all have all these red Rolexes? And it's just like it is, again, you don't even take the time to like lie good.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
It was the cheapest one in the case.
yeah, they told me. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and it's always a specific type of person. Mm-hmm. Like, it's never like a real good, like, endearing family man who has a red Rolex where it's like you just got that by mistake. It's always the nigga that's doing the absolute.
It's a nut ass nigga archetype that's attached to it.
It's a real scumbag.
But I ain't going front. In the 90s, the red face was like.
You was him. You had a red face on the president. You was
face.
him.
Yeah, because they were building everything in the 90s.
You had the red
But now
face
you know
like,
better. You know enough to where it's just like I told you, the boy who had that Richard Mille that was fake. Mm-hmm. When he brought it in the joint, the dude was like, he was showing it. He was like opening the shit up. It's like, yo, this is so good that it's like, what the fuck? And then they went and did some digging, and you can get like a fake Richard Mille for like $3,500.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have to understand that like $3,500 is a good quality piece.
It's a real Omega.
Like you know what I'm, that's a real Oris. Like, you know, like you can get like it's gonna have real parts to the shit.
You get 2 Santos right now. His and hers right now.
You get 2 Santos. But the boy, he had a fake Hawk, not a Hawk,
Starbucks.
He had a
okay.
fake Starbucks, and he was inviting his jeweler friends in. And was like, yeah, guy wants to sell this. How much you offer? And they pick it up, look. Only like 2 out of the 7 was like, I need to open this, take a look at it or whatever. Literally, the other 5 was like, should I give you 10-8 for it? He's like, yo, it's fake, man. Give me this. Like, and he's like, that's how good the fake shit is becoming. Like, jewelers cannot tell.
Yeah.
He's like, unless you got a motherfucking planner's John and a little screwdriver.
Like a monocle.
Yeah. You cannot tell that shit. But that's just how, like, so you can go do good fake shit.
Yeah.
Do that. But get away from me with the 2-tone rose gold date just with a red face and Roman numerals that are diamonds. This is just doing too much.
This is junk.
Like it's just too. It's like 9 different watches combined.
Spare parts.
Yeah, you got a 36.
Yeah, that's why me and Dan, man, Demetrius got locked the fuck up selling niggas spare part
Right.
rollers.
You done mixed a 41 with a Wimbledon with a fucking Daytona. Why this shit got
That's a
$7
Wimble.
on
That's
it?
a Wimble just.
That's a Wimble just.
Wimble Mariner.
It's crazy how they fucked that shit up, man.
Yo.
We used to
My man had a Prezi just. Yo, we was bidding on him so hard. He had it had the date just face, but the Prezi band, and I'm just like, yo, he living different. Like,
Oyster Protona and shit like that. He too much, man. Like, what the fuck? Nigga got it now. That's a date. That's a day date just. You know what I'm saying? I want a day date bad. I'm back in love with them again.
back in love with the date.
I was looking at one the other night.
Rose Gold 41. That's my grill right there.
What?
Rose Gold 40.
Rose 141.
Oh, the 40 date, the rose gold, the green face.
Because you know they got the 40 and then the 41. The 41 is they discontinued the 41. They made it for like 2 years. It's like a bigger.
Can we talk about how nonsense driven the whole AD is in San Diego, San Francisco?
Yeah.
So I sent them all an article yesterday or whatever. Let me pull this shit up. So there's a jewelry store called Sh00ting Co. in San Francisco.
Yep.
Apparently, a guy who wanted a Patek Philippe, the specific watch he wanted was your joint.
5980.
The 5980, the rose gold with the big
Boss
ass.
of all bosses.
The big ass watch, 250 to 275,000. He wanted to purchase a 5980 from Sh00ting Co.
For retail price.
As they were a authorized dealer
yes.
of Patek Philippe. What they did was have him go on essentially a splurge,
buying spree.
A buying spree over 6 months, where the 8 months, where the AD told him, yeah, no, you need to spend money so that you can, make some waves, get on the list. Become priority. So the AD had him buy another watch that he really didn't want. He bought him buy a bracelet. He was to get this anklet for your little daughter. He wound up spending.
How do you feel about 3-finger rings?
Yeah. Fat boys. Right.
Got a nice 4-finger that say boss. And then the 2 S's is dollar signs.
Your name Eric, right? Well, look, the B on the end, don't pay that no mind, but say Eric B. 3-finger rings is fucking hilarious. But long story short, the authorized dealer got him to spend $220,000 on shit he didn't want.
Bullshit.
So that he could get on the list to purchase the Patek Philippe 5980. And this specific company lost their Patek authorized dealer status a year and a half ago.
And they knew months ahead of time that it was a wrap.
They didn't even tell the employees.
Nope.
And now he's suing them for $500,000. And I told Ron Jules, I want him to sue for a little bit more.
Yeah, I hope the judge, whoever gets this case, fucking bangs the gavel on these niggas and gives him like a $10 million fucking judgment for gross misrepresentation of your business, your brand standard, and just literally just robbing this man of $220,000. Like, enough is enough. For the last 3 years, these authorized dealers and the salespeople have literally been acting like A1 assholes. And they have just made people jump through all of these fucking hoops and just go through all of this bullshit to get stuff that 9 times out of 10 they have just sitting in the back in a safe somewhere. You're just not James Harden, so we're not selling it to you. That's the game that they're playing. All of these places, Boucher, Sh00ting Co., Govberg, all of these motherfuckers have watch allotment. Rolex made 1.3 million watches last year. They made another they have a plan to make another 1.3 million this year. They have allotment. They are lying to us.
And we were talking about it the other day where it's like, it's gotten to the point now where this is just as simple as I can look at it. Imagine walking into a supermarket and you want to buy filet mignons to make it the house. And they tell you, well, no, see, you got to buy chicken thighs first. Just to get on the board, just so we know
But I see the fillets right here.
But just say y'all got fillets. It say y'all made 1.3
what it
million.
say.
Fillets, like, well, no, see, that's the thing. Fillets, we got other customers. You trust me.
You got to get priority to
You
get
gotta
the fillets.
start with the chicken thighs. So okay, you buy a pack of chicken thighs. You don't even eat chicken,
Right.
But you buy chicken thighs. Fuck it. You come back and you like, yeah, I'd like to purchase the filet mignon today. When they were like, well, we see you bought the chicken thighs.
You're doing all right. You know what I'm saying?
Doing good. Now listen,
You in the database.
you got to get the truck stick. All right.
It's levels.
That's how stupid this shit has become. I know multiple people who have told me how they bought a watch just to get on the radar.
Yes.
That's insane.
I've bought watches from Torno and I still can't get on the fucking active list.
Like, imagine going to Toyota and you trying to buy a Tundra and they like, we don't have you on paper for buying a Corolla.
Yeah, we need you to buy a Tacoma first.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you know.
A Highlander, something. Like, you don't just come in here and try and buy a Tundra. Imagine.
This shit is dumb, yo.
Crazy, right?
This shit is dumb. Once we reach peak dysfunction as a nation, peak economic dysfunction as a nation, when we started making people line up for luxury goods and fucking spend money in order to spend more money. Like, so you telling me it's a privilege for me to spend my money with you and not a privilege for y'all to receive my money? Is what you telling me?
And the problem is nobody stopped.
Nobody.
Like, had motherfuckers stopped and really, like, think about Chanel raised the prices 4 times.
Yep.
Imagine if after the first price raise, everyone would have just stopped. But you know what happened? Like Dan said, motherfuckers had that money and was running the fuck wild. I don't give a fuck.
I'll pay whatever.
I know motherfuckers that was charging people to do them PPP loans, taking $2,000, $2,500 just
And that
to do
shit took 10 minutes.
Motherfuckers was doing loans for hundreds of people. So it's like, yo, if I'm getting $2,000 a pop and I do 700 of these, I don't give a fuck what it costs, nigga. I've never had Chanel in my life.
Yeah.
It's my time.
Give it all to me.
Give it all to me. Give it all to me.
You bitches could never.
Seriously,
I say I had a little Chanel dog in the display case. Let me buy that too. That's actually not for sale. Money is no object.
Yeah.
I need it all.
Put an X on his face. That's gonna be a cause time Chanel dog.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's consumer behavior like that is the reason why Bernard Arnault is toggling between Elon, number 1 and number 2. This is the reason why Jeff Bezos is fucking, top 5 richest men in the world, because of shit like this, because people we've created rabid consumers. The propaganda machine has worked to perfection. They got the shit in our fucking phones, on our fucking televisions, all through all of the streaming networks that we fucking watch and shit like that. And they have us the fuck down to a science. They know what we're going to do before we even do this shit.
Yep.
And we are complicit in our own financial destruction. And this is the reason why the chasm between rich and poor has never been greater. And it's continuing to expand. We're going to have a point where it's like, yo, lower class is going to be like, oh, you make $100,000 a year. That's cool. You are lower class.
Yep.
Because all the motherfuckers up here is going to have hundreds of millions and fucking billions.
I was looking for this caption I saw the other day. It was so ridiculous. I didn't screenshot it though. I meant to tell it to y'all. But pull a couple more of these real quick. No, that's stupid.
That don't make no sense. That's very weird right there.
We did that on Patreon. It's funny, we just talked about that. Dre Ali sent us questions that we done already answered and shit. We did that.
Scraping the proverbial pot here.
My son and I had a debate about NBA role players. I told him even role players were beasts in high school. Besides the obvious, what are some of the standout high school performances by folks in the league, past or present? It's funny because I was talking to somebody the other day about this, and because he was like, yeah, I heard you mention on the show one time how to make it to the league, you really had to tear something up at one point.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, go Pick anybody in the NBA. You see how we just said Drew Timmy, and the bull from Kentucky didn't get drafted, right? Oscar, whatever his name is. The guy from Kentucky won National Player of the Year in college. Yep. Drew Timmy is the all-time leading scorer in Gonzaga history. Adam Morrison played there, my nigga. Neither of them got drafted.
4 of the top players in the top 5 this year came from somewhere other than the college system.
See what I'm saying? So it's like, to make it to the NBA, you're literally saying to the world, this guy is one of the 470 best players on the planet. They don't make a mistake with that. It's too much farming. It's too much motherfucking analytics. It's too much scouting. There's too much. You legitimately had to do something crazy. Yeah. And he was like, what about players that be busts? I'd be like, yeah, they be busts in the NBA. But that person wasn't a bust in getting to the NBA because he was talking about Victor Wembanyama. Yeah. And he's like, what if he a bust? And I'm like, but here's the thing. He was playing professional basketball when he was 14. Right. That's why he's in the NBA.
Exactly. At
so
18.
At one point, he was tearing up France, my nigga. Yeah. Like this, I'm not making this shit up. You don't just stroll into the NBA.
Wemby was so good, his teammate got drafted in the top 10. I never even heard of this nigga.
Nigga. I told him, I'm like, look at the white boy Pritchard from the Boston Celtics. That little white person that they put in at the end of the game all the time. Right. When you go and look back on his like progression in life, you see he won 3 high school state championships. Mm-hmm. He went to Oregon. He's the all-time scorer in the University of Oregon history. That guy. Number 9 on the fucking Celtics bench. He literally can walk into a gymnasium and be like, I put up more points in this motherfucker than anybody that ever existed. Yeah. And if you go back to the high school, John, nobody got a second to breathe while I was in high school in this state.
That's a fact.
Nigga won 3 straight high school state championships.
The young boy Derrick Jones Jr., he won the dunk contest with Miami Heat a few years ago. From Chester, went to Archbishop Carroll. He was Pennsylvania Mr. Basketball 2015. He doesn't have a team right now.
Oh.
He was the best. He clean sweep, won every award, McDonald's All-American, all of that shit. Been a journeyman in the goddamn NBA. He was the best player in the state of Pennsylvania in 2015.
I remember about 2015 maybe, at the Rumpf game that year, James Harden played. This was before he was a Sixer and all that shit. Yeah. Harden came and played. And when you see an NBA All-Star MVP caliber player playing against people that, no disrespect, aren't NBA All-Star player. It was like James Harden, it didn't even look like he was trying hard. Yeah. Like he wasn't running. You could tell the guys he was playing against were like playing their heart out. Yeah. And he wasn't playing hard. And it was like, I remember Los was sitting right next to me and we like looked over at the board and was like, James Harden got 36? It was like, yo, it don't feel like he did though. Yeah. I think I had 36 with like a couple minutes left in the fourth, and they was because it just felt like he was like bringing the ball up the court and passing it around.
Gifted. You can't stop me.
Yeah, this is fucking around. I ain't had nothing to do.
Got a couple hoes on here.
I might come out here, steal some money out here. Like, I'm just out here. You know what I mean? And it made me, I saw this come across a joint the other day. I wanted to get your opinion on this. You've been going through it with that.
Mosquito was just like, come on, bro.
What to you is the better draft class looking at what these guys have achieved in their career? Okay. The draft class, Dan, you can answer on this too, is 2011 versus 2009. All right? All right. The 2009 draft class, Blake Griffin, DeMar DeRozan, James Harden, Drew Holiday, Steph Curry. Okay. The 2011 draft class is Kemba Walker, Kyrie Irving, Jimmy Butler, Klay Thompson, Kawhi Leonard.
Goddamn.
You can see it just so you can.
The presence of Steph and Klay on these separate lists kind of like cancel one another out. Even though Steph is obviously the superior player, but they both, very vital components of winning 4 championships.
I look at the list where it's like, what side has any legends? And it's clearly Steph Curry's the legend.
Yeah.
I think Kawhi Leonard was on the trajectory to be a legend, But this Clippers nonsense may have like derailed it a little bit. But Kawhi Leonard, for all intents and purposes, has 2 rings, 2 finals MVPs,
yeah.
Defensive Player of the Year. Like and he's the claw. He has a name. It's just not Wardell.
No, not at all. Remember a couple years ago, people were saying, like, sports people were saying, like, Kawhi was better than LeBron and all that dumb shit. You remember that? Max Kellerman
I think you said it.
I didn't say that.
No? All right. You're just throwing schmut on your name.
Yeah, I did not say that. I did not say that.
Motherfuckers started, though.
No, motherfuckers thought it, said it, put it on the record, and had to walk it back. Max Kellerman was the loudest one. Max Kellerman said Kawhi was a better clutch player than Kobe. I'm like, all right, Max, get off TV.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's tough, right?
DeMar DeRozan is the best player in the history of Toronto Raptors. That's a fact.
Yeah. Vince?
Yeah, better than Vince.
He's better than Vince.
All right.
Vince was just like a highlight.
I think, all right.
I'm going to give it to DeMar. Put 10 years of service in. I'm going to give it to DeMar. James Harden, for all of his nonsense, league MVP, possibly could have won another league MVP, went to the finals with the Thunder, hasn't really sniffed any real playoff success since, but he's one of the most prolific scorers in NBA
James
history.
Harden might go on my list of like best money stealing motherfuckers.
Oh man, listen, he about to get another 200 from some
because he's on his like 18th max deal, and I don't understand it.
Yeah, he took a pay cut and got 35.6.
Right.
And then you got Drew Holiday, basically one of the best defensive players of his generation, super developed his offensive game recently, won a championship with the Bucks and all of that. I want to give the slight edge to the 2009 class. I think that's my final answer.
Because of the Steph situation?
Because of Steph.
Yeah,
Because Steph's better. Let's be clear, Steph's better than all these niggas.
Yeah, everybody on the
If you add all these niggas up, Steph's better than all these motherfuckers put together.
Steph changed the game, so it's like kind of like you got it. Like
One thing I thought was interesting is just how many of these motherfuckers were Sixers.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
The Sixers stink. Like, the Sixers had Jrue Holiday, Jeremy Grant, Covington. He had a little
they
spark.
did have Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, they had him first.
Yeah,
They had Drew was an all-star already when he was a Sixer.
Yeah.
It was Drew, Iggy, Elton Brand.
Mikal Bridges.
They had Mikal Bridges for like a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Got him out of here. Yeah, the Sixers are an inept franchise.
Yeah. I don't know, yo. I think 11, man. Just because it's like, did Kawhi ever win MVP?
Of the league?
Yeah. No.
So you got a two-time league MVP, unanimous MVP, defensive player of the year, a league MVP, a finals MVP.
Who won Defensive Player of the Year?
Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday won the Defensive Player of the
I
Year?
think a couple years ago he won defensive player of the year.
Did he?
He's been like perennially first team.
I know he'd be
All-NBA
a first
defense.
all-team defense and shit. Yeah, he ain't win
A lot made that up.
But he's made 5 defensive teams. I know he's always a first team defensive nigga, but I'm like, they would have made a big deal out of him on some Gary Payton shit, like a point guard.
Well, yeah, they gave Marcus Smart one, and that should have been fucking Drew's award because everybody in the league says Drew was the best perimeter defender in the league.
Yeah, he got 3 first teams and 2 second teams,
Yeah.
and he won Teammate of the Year 3 times. And he won a sportsmanship award. Drew Holiday got a nice little career he done put together, and he got a gold medal in the Olympics.
And he's manicured himself up to being a 20-point per game scorer.
But I just look at Jimmy Butler, Klay Thompson, Kawhi Leonard. The thing is, these 4 don't have the playoff accolades.
Right.
But then down here, they don't have them either.
Yeah, it's just one guy.
It's Steph versus Kawhi. But I look at it like,
And Steph is, I think, are we in agreement that Steph is superior to Kawhi in every
but
way?
Kawhi got 2 Finals MVPs.
Well, they stole one from Steph.
No. He stole one from Steph?
No, the Iggy Jones, they stole one
Oh,
from
no,
Steph.
that was Iggy's. That was all.
LeBron averaged a quadruple-double.
And if Iggy wasn't there, LeBron would have averaged a quadruple. Like, the fuck, like, I'm Iggy deserved that MVP. You know, that is because think about it, the Cavs was up 2-1, and Iggy came off the bench, and they just switched the rotation, and he literally was just like stopping LeBron on the baseline. And what he did, it actually slowed down LeBron tearing up their fucking secondary, their front court. I'm going with the 11 class. No, I'm not.
I'm still with Steph.
I'm whatever team Steph on. That's what team I'm going with. Because it's like on both lists, you have two guys that are like non-factors. Like Blake Griffin.
Okay, let's do it this way. Kemba Walker versus Steph Curry. Steph Curry.
Come on now. Yeah.
Kyrie versus Drew. You got the best handle with the best perimeter defense.
I mean, they both are one.
And Kyrie, to me, has bigger moments in his career. He is the shot in Game 7. He's made niggas fall. He's a perennial all-star.
I think that's a push or it's advantage Kyrie.
Jimmy Butler, James Harden.
James Harden.
Give me Jimmy Butler.
Well, he hasn't done shit.
No, I'm talking about against each other. I'd take Jimmy Butler because I know he
Against prime James Harden?
now James Harden.
No. Prom for prom.
Where how you gonna do prom for prom?
How are we not going to do prom for prom if you're trying to establish a criteria here?
So
you have to do prom for prom. Peak value James Harden averaged 36 and 9. It was a league MVP.
Okay, whatever. Klay Thompson, DeMar.
Klay Thompson.
Kawhi, Blake Griffin.
Kawhi.
So the top, you see what I'm saying?
But peak value, Steph and James are above all these niggas.
Not Kawhi.
Peak value.
James Harden not above Kawhi.
Kawhi at peak value is not a league MVP.
But Kawhi at peak value is a Finals MVP twice.
Yeah, but that's a team accomplishment.
And he's the Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay, absolutely.
James Harden's never gonna sniff that.
And Kawhi's never going to sniff league MVP.
I mean, we still got some time.
He has one leg.
Paul George got the Clippers thing was a fail.
Complete fail.
Big fail.
And I'm going to keep it a buck. I couldn't be happier because I called it. Niggas was dick riding. Oh, man, the Clipper. I called it. Cap. It was all cap. Niggas was just going out of their way to try to formulate something because they didn't want to be in LeBron's shadow, and they failed miserably. Congratulations, you fucking bozos.
Yeah, they fucked that up bad. They're putting out so much money. It's just
they gave away the equivalent of 7 first-round picks and an all-NBA first-team player for PG-13. That is crazy. That is criminal.
I mean, at one point, though, motherfuckers thought Paul George was going to be like him.
Yes.
Now, once his leg came off, that changed things, but, you know, here we are.
Gave away a first-team All-NBA guy in 7 draft. Please take the future of my franchise and all my picks with you for this nigga right here, because Kawhi said he got to come or he going to L.A. You should have let him go to the Lakers in hindsight. You would have been much better off with fucking Shea in a collection of picks.
Wrapping this show up, how do you feel being a Lakers fan? Is it getting to the point where it's just like I look at I didn't grow up with like a disappointing dad, but it's getting to that realm where it's just like, yo, why y'all don't never do what you say you gonna do? The Lakers in this last week went from we might get Paul George, we might get Bruce Brown, we might all this shit just to end up with. Yeah, so we re-signed D-Lo, and it's like, what the fuck,
well,
man?
I think that
I hate D'Angelo Russell.
To Mitch Kupchak's credit, I want to give him a lot of credit. Mitch Kupchak was able to go out here, get value deals on the free agency market, and retain their top 3 free agents and still not even sniff the luxury tax. That in itself gives him assets to be able to go potentially December 15th forward to the trade deadline or whatever and potentially make a big move to add a player, whatever the case may be. I think the Lakers looked at the way that Denver was designed and the way that Milwaukee, when they won it, was designed and said, yo, you got to have 10, 11 horses. You got to have 10 motherfuckers that can play high-level basketball, real deal pros, as opposed to being so top-heavy. Like, I think that's what's going to cook Phoenix this year. They're too fucking top-heavy. They got 4 players and some niggas like that they just signing whoever, whatever. Whereas the Lakers is like you added Jackson Hayes, which is 23 years old, a 6'11", 240 center. You added Cam Reddish for no money whatsoever. Like it's not like the players that they added, it's not costing you nothing. You added Gabe Vincent, which is like a good rotational
I like
pickup.
Gabe Vincent.
And somebody that can shoot the hell out of the basketball. And then then they added Taurean Prince on a value deal. He was making $10.6 million last year. Got him for $4.5 million. So it's like when you look at what they did, and then they got Rui and Austin Reeves on super discounted deals. So they kept their players. So they basically took the team that went to the Western Conference Finals, added 4 real deal players and didn't lose anybody that was important to them.
But D'Angelo stinks.
D'Angelo does stink.
And it's just
but
like
you also got to give D'Angelo some credit because D'Angelo saved our ass in one of them playoff games. If it wasn't for him, we'd lose that game. But that one game, he went the fuck off.
But that's the thing with D'Angelo Russell, and that's been him his whole career. He'll have one good game and then 7 where he literally doesn't have his powers. And it looks atrocious.
Too many baddies in the crowd. I can't focus.
Like, this shit be crazy.
I'm not happy about them re-signing D'Angelo, but the simple fact that they have him as a piece to potentially be able to bundle some of these guys together and go get something.
The NBA money at this point is just like seeing like Desmond Bain signed for 207.
Yeah.
It's just like, what the...
And you have to give it to him.
The first day of free agency, they said it was $1.5 billion in contracts.
Yeah, Rich Paul had like $390 million in contracts the first hour.
First day,
First hour of free agency.
No, Del, we can do some more fly shit. Yeah. Like real shit.
Oh, you want to add a pool to the pool?
Yeah. Another addition. That's funny as shit. But I got nothing else, man. Like I said, the Lakers is still Sixers stink.
I like the Lakers pay. The Lakers got A+ free agency grade from every index.
I will say that the Nuggets losing Bruce Brown is gonna matter.
Blow.
That's gonna matter.
I'm glad Kyrie got paid. I'm glad Fred got paid. Dylan Brooks getting paid fucked me around.
Wait, who do you sign?
Houston, 4 years, $80 million.
Wow, yellow button that.
Yeah,
damn.
yeah.
Congratulations, you crazy light skin nigga.
Crazy light skinned nigga. 80. He LeBron can't stop me his way to $80 million.
God damn, I didn't even see
This
that.
is why lying greater than sign everything else in life. You could just lie, get paid, get rewarded.
And you know what I want to end? My y'all weird if I gotta end one. I did y'all weird the other day on Patreon. The people with the plastic bags on their head at the fucking lotto show. Y'all are weird. But the people who have now turned into like whenever somebody has a bad play, there's this thing on like social media of like, oh, get ready for China.
Yeah.
And it's like y'all went through all of this. Dylan Brooks gonna be in the Wang Chang and the Shuji.
I'm gonna be right in H-time.
And that nigga got 20 mil
from here with it.
With no state
income tax.
It's like Dylan Brooks gonna be doing better than a lot of your favorite
He gonna be able to
players.
buy all the terrible outfits he want. You got $80 million in Texas?
Good day.
What James Harden tell you when he was recruiting Dwight Howard? He said, well, first thing you gotta understand, our clubs don't close till 4 in the morning. So that's the first thing. Bottle of Moet Rose, $150. $150.
$150. Yeah, man, damn. I ain't know Dylan Brooks got that.
Dylan Brooks got paid, dog.
4 years.
I like what Ime is building in Houston. They just traded Kenyon Martin Jr. to the Clippers.
I saw that.
So it looks like Jalen and then the other young boys is going to be there for the foreseeable future. I'm curious to see what Ime going to do, you know what I'm saying, in the number one whole capital of America.
Where is James Harden going?
We don't know. I've heard the Clippers. They're trying to say now that there's potentially a 4-team trade between Philly, Portland, the Clippers, and some unnamed team or whatever to try to get Dame here.
Okay.
Because they're saying Maxey and what's the nigga name? Tobias Harris, potentially to Portland, Dame to Philly, James Harden to the Clippers, but they got to find a 4th team to sweeten the pot for Portland.
I don't know how I feel about Dame and Embiid. They're going to give me some time to think about that.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is you would have a real deal closer on the Sixers. Like, there's no question about, like, who's the closer if Dame comes here, but it's like we're going to completely thin out, like, the rest of the fucking lineup if we do that because you're going to lose Harden, you're going to lose Maxey in the same trade, and you're going to lose Toby. So you're losing 3 starters to add, obviously a perennial all-star, a potential, a league MVP candidate year in and year out, but it's like, at what cost? Like,
yeah, Sixers. I mean, the Sixers have so much secondary issues. Like, y'all got to build your bench up because George Niang and fucking Melton, that shit.
Niang left. Niang went to Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
And Max Strus went to Cleveland.
I saw Strus went to Cleveland. Yeah,
Niang went too. Yeah, they said apparently Niang has a reputation as a league as an enforcer.
I didn't know that.
They was touting him for that. They said, yeah, we gonna add a tough guy, and I'm just like, Niang?
He does kind of look like the Bash brother that used to be with Fulton Reed on Mighty Ducks. I can't remember his name, but the Mexican one, he kind of does look like him. I guess him and Strus are gonna have shootouts to see who can miss more threes.
Exactly. I'm 0 for 11 right now, baby.
I'm 0 for 8 tonight. What you on? All right. Yeah, that's funny as shit. But I got nothing else for this episode. We've given y'all enough content. TRPE weekend.
Yes.
OfficialTRPE.com. Go get your tickets. Patreon.com/official TRPE.
And if you're not subscribed to the YouTube, subscribe up, man.
I'm out. Chad's out. Dan's out.
Peace.
We holla.
Peace.